Cool. So
I can
hello.
move people around on my screen.
Ooh. Hello everyone. We're doing a Kids on Bikes game tonight. This is we have it labeled as a Scooby-Doo Kids on Bikes game. So it's going to be very silly. We're going to be very low-key having fun with this. The first thing that we need to do is, for this game, I have a setting in mind. So we're just going to create characters. And we're not going to do the world building that we did. If anybody's watching on YouTube, the world building that we did in the first couple of episodes. This one, we're just going to create the characters and their relationships to each other. And then figure out everything else from there. So yeah, the first thing we need to do is make our characters. And let me grab my sheets. So there's a bunch of, for this game. Can you still hear me, Clara?
Yes, I can. I'm just grabbing paper.
Yeah, you're good. I want to make sure. For the game, this is essentially, think of like Scooby-Doo meets, it's Scooby-Doo meets Real Monsters, like a couple of the specials. It doesn't always have to be like that, but that is the idea behind it. Stranger Things is a really good influence for Kids on Bikes. Essentially, the idea is kids on bikes go down to the watering hole and they find a dead body. What happens then? So the first thing that we'll do, we have 6 stats, and we can either roll for them or you can build a character archetype that has kind of where these stats are. You have 6 stats. I believe it is brains, brawn, fight, charm, flight, and there's one more. Jackson, do you remember it? Grit. Grit. So we can either, and the way that the stats are laid out is you'll have a die for each one of your stats representing how good you are. So for example, if you're really good at fighting, you have a D20 for fighting, and every time you roll a fight check, you roll a D20. As opposed to flight, maybe you're really, really slow and you only get a D4 for that. So we're going to assign a D4, a D6, a D8, a D10, a D12, a D20 to one of those 6 stats. And Jackson, Clara, either you can do that yourself if you kind of know, if you want to build a character, like I want to build a character that's really good at fighting, or blah, blah, blah. Or you can pick from some archetypes that are in the book. Some things I'm thinking about, like sidekicks, the bully, the smooth talker. It's also should be noted that you'll be playing as a child, teen, or adult. And each one of those comes with different bonuses, essentially. And you don't have to be the same age. We could play with a child and an adult. We make whatever work. For example, though, I think all teenagers get to be rebellious. So they get, I think, extra grit or fight, something like that. As where all adults get extra smarts just because they don't necessarily need to be smart. They've just been around longer. So they get to be naturally higher at that stat. So cool. I'm looking up in the
10.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do my own.
You're gonna do your own, okay.
I'm gonna name it the Scaredy Cat.
The Scaredy Cat. Oh yeah, so because this is Scooby-Doo themed, my first question for you all is, are you going to be playing as essentially a member of the mystery gang? You don't have to be like Velma, but are you playing like the archetype of Velma, or are you just creating your own characters? And then also, obviously the most important question, do you want a talking sidekick animal? And if you do, what kind of animal do you want?
I think I will play an archetype for sure.
Okay.
At least for a first round here.
Sure. Just got to figure out wherever my archetypes are. I printed off 3 pages here with those up. Can you pull up the PDF too, Jackson, so we can reference it?
I got it.
Okay. If you might be able to find the archetypes quicker than I can. If you do, can you start reading them out?
Do you want me to put up like a shared screen?
Yeah, let's do that. That'll make life easy.
Here they are.
Hell yeah.
There's a couple of them. There's more.
Okay, I'm gonna do the mathlete, I think.
The mathlete?
Yeah.
Okay. Jackson, you want to scroll on down?
Oh, yeah.
Just to show the other ones real quick. We'll put down mathlete in case anything else grabs you. But yeah, so like some of these, you can have the mathlete could be a child mathlete, or it could be a teenager, or I think is there an adult mathlete?
No, just child and teen.
Okay. All right. Do you want to be a kid or a teenager then?
I'll do a teen.
Okay.
I'll do a teen too.
Okay. So Jackson, you're gonna roll your own. Yeah, if you want to zoom in on the mathlete so she can reference that to like build her sheet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kind of worked. There we go. So I think I'm going to do the scaredy cat, which means just randomly, I'm going to do a D20 in flight.
Sounds right.
I'm going to have some smarts, so I'm going to do a D12 in brains.
I'm starting to get the impression that you're not going to be good at fighting.
No. But it's not as bad as you'd think.
Okay.
I'm going to do a D... Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do a D10 in charm. I'm going to do a D8 in fight. I'm going to do a D6 in brawn. And then I'll do a D4 in grit.
Okay. Yeah, and if you need a description of what those stats like specifically are, I can give you a fuller breakdown since I have the page here. So I'll set that to the side. What page is character creation on? 9. So looking at that. Yeah, so on average, 10 is above average, 8 is below average, so 9 is the average it's putting here. When we roll, you'll be rolling with the correct die. So I'll put a level that you need to pass on the roll. For example, I'll put something at a difficulty of 10, and then you'll roll your according die. In Kids on Bikes, there are degrees of failure. So you can, if the check is 10 and you roll an 8, then that will not be as bad as if you roll a 1. And again, specifically, it's essentially how immediate are the consequences and how bad are the consequences. So if you roll just under it, the consequence is probably whatever, like maybe you get temporarily inconvenienced and it's not an issue. But if it's really bad, then it's like
sudden death.
Yeah, it's like story altering. I won't kill you out of nowhere. I don't like killing people out of nowhere. I know, it's horrible. Like you're walking through the haunted castle and there's a knight with an axe and you don't dodge it, and then you roll a 1 and I chop your head off. And then
sounds
you're
like
dead.
a game that I would run.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna run like the super lethal version of the Tomb of Horrors, the Tomb of Annihilation.
Kids on Bikes.
Oh no. Yeah, in general, and I'll play with this a lot because of how I kind of narratively want to run the game. In general, combat is very deadly in Kids on Bikes because you don't have a lot of health, and fights are usually very serious. So life or death is on the line in almost any fight, even casual fights like fist fights. Somebody could get knocked out and they could fall and maybe hit something depending on how bad they roll.
Okay.
Again, I'll play around with that.
Light.
Yeah, because I don't want to kill anybody. I will if I need to, but I don't want to kill anybody, and I want to play this like Scooby-Doo. And there's a lot of silliness in Scooby-Doo that doesn't really follow up with real-world repercussions. So yeah, there's injuries and deaths, multiple sessions. I'm trying to pull up the traits page.
The
Jackson.
strengths.
Yeah, so like the strengths and weaknesses. So this is a brilliant mathlete. You can see like possible skills and like likely flaws that you'd have. And there's a whole list to pull from. So Jackson, if you could pull up that list.
Yeah.
And we'll reference that. Yeah, you do not have to reference whatever they want you to be.
So these are the strengths, but there are a couple more on the next page.
Sure. So yeah, something that happens during Kids on Bikes, and you can see it referenced here in some of these skills, are when you fail a roll, you get something called an adversity token. And what adversity tokens do is making so failure is less punishing, because an adversity token is something you can use to increase your next roll, I believe is what it does. Does it, Jackson, do you remember if it gives you a reroll or just like a buff to stats?
I think it's you just use adversity tokens to increase your roll.
Yeah. So when you fail, you get more adversity tokens. You start off with adversity tokens too. And you can see that there's a couple of these where you can spend adversity tokens to have special effects. I can't see if it's on. Yeah, I like we've done prepared a couple of times, which has been fun, where you're the kid that just pulls something out of their backpack. It's like, by the way, I just happened to have brought my handy dandy climbing kit because I'm in the climbers club. Yeah.
So how many of these do I choose?
For strengths, is it
Two, I believe.
2? Yeah, 2 strengths, then 2 flaws.
Oh,
Okay.
and there's some more if you want to look at the next page.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is.
Just a couple.
I found it in my sheets too.
Ooh, I know what I'm doing. I think I'm going to do unassuming.
Okay.
Because I shall hide in the shadows.
Okay.
And
Can you go back to that first page?
absolutely.
Thank
And I think
you.
I'm going to do the we get rebellious, right?
Yeah, so as a teenager, you get rebellious automatically, and that does not count towards your 2. So you can just write down that you have rebellious. Yeah. You don't take shit from nobody, especially not those adults. And you can talk down to kids.
Perfect.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm going to take prepared.
Okay.
Okay, I'm taking lucky and tough. Are the 2 I have.
Okay. Prepared. Lucky and tough. And then you're both rebellious as well.
Right.
Cool. So now we're going to look at 2 flaws that you could have. And this one, this might come up in specific roles. There is nothing that's like inherent as opposed to strengths where there's obviously a gameplay mechanic for it. Flaws is more on you if you like how much you want to play it up. If you play into it, you can use flaws as possibly even an advantage. So if this is a very out there example, if somebody was trying to mind control you or something, but you're absent-minded, maybe you could just like disconnect so much they have no mind to grab onto. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, we got the whole list there. Anything that's not on the list, you can feel free to put onto if you think of something that particularly strikes you.
Mine were incredibly easy. Clumsy and cowardly.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm going to do conceited and petty.
Nice. Okay. Da-da-da. Petty. Clumsy and what was the other one that you had? Cowardly.
Cowardly.
Okay, so yeah, now we're gonna look at a couple of personality traits. This is a lot like building a character in D&D. It was back a few.
Oh, sorry.
You good? One more there. So if you just want to write down one or two of these, you can take as many or as few as you like. One minimum, but you could have as many as you like. Just another idea to kind of like build your character. Like, what in your mind is your character like? I'm seeing lucky, tough, conceited, petty so far. So we could be something. You're the brilliant mathlete. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so you're the brilliant mathlete. So you're just like totally full of yourself. Like, I'm the smartest kid on this team. Whatever. You're so beneath me, you scaredy cat. You're a tough mathlete too. Maybe you've been like bullied a lot, so now you've physically become tougher. It's like, you can't hurt me. You don't even know what I've been through. But you're like 16, so. Jackson.
Oh, I know exactly. I think I got mine.
Yeah.
I think they're being pursued by a cult.
Being pursued by a cult. Okay.
I've never read through these.
Pursued by a cult. Cool.
I'm gonna add usually hungry.
Usually hungry. Okay.
Oh, right. Actually, I think instead of pursued by a cult, I'm gonna do the pursued by evil supernatural force.
Okay.
I think that fits the theme.
Force.
Oh, sorry, I moved it.
Okay. So the next thing is I'm going to move on from personality traits unless somebody has another one that they want to add. Okay. So yeah, the next thing we'll do is we'll figure out the group relationship isn't as important. I should throw out there, I want you two to be connected either as family, and this can be distant or close family, or as like intimate friends that have been. I do want the Scooby-Doo mystery gang mentality. So I don't know how you want to play that, but I will leave that up to you both. But I'm looking for something like that. And then for the relationship to each other, there's specific things for that we can look into. It's the questions about how do you perceive the other person. Do you know where that's at, Jackson?
Oh, yeah. Clara, what do you think? Oh, here they are.
Cool. So yeah, so for these, what we'll do is, this is again like to kind of help you. The idea behind this is to get you integrated with other group members and give you an idea of what your relationships are before the game even starts. I think a lot of what Kids on Bikes is trying to do when they do this is avoid that you're all in a tavern and you're sitting at a table and role play. Yeah. And then you try to figure it out. This one is giving you questions so you can pre-assume some things about your relationships. So we'll do first off a positive and a negative, and then we can add another one if we want to. So we'll do
like next door neighbors or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So your neighbors and your friends. I'm gonna say, if that's all right, I'm gonna say your friends too, because you two are traveling somewhere, is the premise here. So
makes sense.
Perfect.
The Clara, if you want to roll a d20, we'll randomly pick one of these positives, and that.
See, I got 10.
What is 10? What
is this character sacrificing to protect you?
Okay. So what is Jackson's character sacrificing to protect you?
I don't know.
It's a hard question, but this is the idea, to make you think. And it's okay to ascribe something to Jackson, as Jackson will ascribe something to you. The idea that you're creating characters together. It's not just an individual. You're not just islands. You're a community.
Okay.
So yeah, you can feel free to give Jackson any something that he's doing to protect you. You can be as specific as you want. You could be something that helps your character's identity, maybe explains one of your character's traits.
Yeah.
Sacrificing to protect you. Maybe he got beat up one time because Jackson's character got beat up one time because they were hiding information that would make you look bad, and you're petty, and that would really and you're conceited. It would really bother you if like that secret got out. So Jackson's character took a beating for you, something like that.
That's
Yeah.
actually good. We'll go with that.
Okay. I definitely don't want to bulldoze your character creation, but
Yeah.
all right. So we'll put down, if you want to, we can put down that, or we can do another positive. Do you have any ideas?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
I should note it doesn't have to be serious either. They're sacrificing their lunch money so you can have an extra sandwich. That is also an option.
That is a good one. I'm trying to like think about my character too and what you would want to, or
Sure.
what you would sacrifice. So give me a second.
Yeah.
So if you wanna move on, let me think for a second.
Absolutely. Jackson, do you want to roll a d20?
Yeah, I can.
And we'll do a positive for you. Not 10.
16.
Okay. What would losing this character mean to you?
I would say, well, they're my next door neighbor. We're friends. I am cowardly, so I would think losing this character would mean losing the person that I confide in. Because I'm cowardly, I don't make friends easily. And so, especially as someone that is so close, living next door, someone that I confide in would be terrible to lose.
Okay. Do you want to roll a d20 again? Clara, if you figure out, feel free to jump in.
Got an
Jack.
idea.
Okay.
Okay. So Jackson's character heard a rumor about me that he knew was true, but he sacrificed his honesty and told a lie that would make.
I like that. So you lied.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to make up the lie, or do you want me to make up a lie?
You can make up the lie.
Okay.
I should also throw out there, if you have any idea about your character's gender, or if you want to build them around a sexual identity or a lack thereof, so like they're asexual, or if they go by they, them, they're transgender, anything like that, that is totally fine too. We'll ask about pronouns before we go into the game and try to keep to those when we're rolling along with it. So yeah, if you end up knowing your gender, definitely throw that out there, because that can help give the other person a better idea of your character too.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely play a she, her, I think.
Okay. I heard a die roll. Who rolled a die?
That was accident, I promise.
Okay. Clara, do you want to roll your negative relationship with?
That's
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
17. Why do you dislike this character when all other characters seem to love them?
We got this question before.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, did we? Can you remind me what it is? What was it?
I
why
think
did
it was
they
the first one.
Because you were too smart. Was that it? Because that was Chad and Dexter?
Chad was because he's a jock, but Jeff didn't like me because I was showing off or something like that.
You showed off your big brain of yours. That big brain of yours.
Big brain.
That was a fun session.
I like that question.
you dislike?
Here, I can roll 2 while we think about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
What'd you get?
I got a 10. What is this character doing that's putting you both at risk?
Oh, I like that.
I do too. Okay, well, you are smart.
You're the scaredy cat, right?
I would say Clara's character is pushing the boundaries of what we should know.
Pushing the boundaries of what you should know.
So trying to like dig into the mystery more than we should feel comfortable in doing.
Is this a situation where like you don't want to use the Ouija board? But,
Yeah.
But Claire totally wants
this
to.
is cool, man. We got to do this.
Nothing's off limits. No. Okay. Can you think of a way? So pushing the boundaries of knowledge. What specific knowledge? So like occult knowledge, or
I think this is a little hard without knowing the hook to the story.
sure, I can tell you all the hook. I'll reiterate it later. But essentially, you two are going to a southern estate, and it's because Claire's grandfather passed away and left the building to them. So you're going down to see what's up with it. Yeah.
Both at risk.
So you froze the whole time you were
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize.
I mean,
Was
you
that-
both did, so it was probably my internet, but
Oh, okay.
none of it. You literally started and it just stopped.
Perfect. Okay. So what happened? It's okay. My internet freezes sometimes too. It's not the best over here. So the hook for the adventure is that you two are traveling down to a southern estate that your grandfather, Claire, he recently passed away and left the estate to you. And you're going down to investigate like what the estate is, checking, just like essentially you're looking at you oh my gosh, I got a house. So you're going down to take a look at the estate, and that's where the adventure will begin at, is you two driving into over there.
Okay.
Can I say that she is too inquisitive about spooky things? Just generally?
Too inquisitive about
like things that should normally scare us, she wants to investigate.
But what normally scares you, Jackson?
Everything.
Not it can't. It's got to be something. Is it like the afterlife? Is it the occult? Is it girls?
The dark.
The dark. Too interested in the dark.
Because I am cowardly as all hell, and I think we're being pursued by evil. And evil only lurks in the dark.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, there you go. So you got bad connotations with the dark.
Okay.
Too interested in the unknown / dark. Unknown / dark. And then Jackson, have you thought of the are you gonna do a are you gonna do a teenage male or female or another gender identity?
I'm gonna do a teen boy.
Okay.
He, him. And I think I have a name.
Okay.
Clyde Smith.
Clyde Smith.
Ooh. Clyde.
Right.
Because who does not want to be a 15-year-old boy named Clyde? Who is scared of the dark?
You probably don't let people know that.
I
Totally.
know, but it's obvious.
Oh yeah, no.
I see a shadow and I kind of like.
That's amazing. Clyde. Claire, this doesn't have to be your family name, but your grandpa was Grandpa John Beauregard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, to give you a connotation. So if you want to continue the Beauregard name, you can.
Oh,
If
I
not,
definitely am.
awesome, cool.
Okay, so Beauregard. I'm gonna go with Cassidy.
Cassidy.
Oh, I love that.
It's a good name.
It is a good name. Secrets. Have you, Clara, thought of, sorry, is it Claire or Claire?
Clara.
Clara. So have you thought of what you want to do for your negative with Jackson?
Yeah.
Have we rolled for that yet? I forgot.
It
Cool.
was 17. What do I dislike about this character?
Yes.
When everyone else seems to love them. I think that Clyde is he's just too laid back for my taste. Everyone else seems to love it, but I cannot stand it. He just doesn't seem to want to take that next step forward sometimes, and it drives me insane.
Okay. Is this he's not confident, or he's not a go-getter, or he doesn't have a backbone?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Jackson, you're a little bit of a pushover.
Well, I'm so laid back that I'm comfortable in the fact that I am scared of everything.
Yeah. Everybody
I'm so
thinks you're
scared.
laid.
I don't like doing other things.
I was about to say, everybody thinks you're laid back, but you're actually so terrified with anxiety and dread that you don't do anything, and you just like, it's all internal. So everybody's like, oh, look at him playing it cool. Well, meantime, you're screaming inside your head.
My internal monologue is just.
Send help. Too laid back, needs to. Would you be okay with me saying needs to lead or needs to grow a backbone?
Yeah, I'd say backbone, definitely.
Okay.
Now, if I am right, a teen gets like a +1 on a couple things, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
they
where
do.
that ends.
I think it's near the beginning with character creation. So now, so you have your stats already from your distribution. So like the D20 and all that stuff for the brilliant mathlete. And we are going through the rest of the character setup. That's what we're also looking for. I believe it was near the beginning. I printed off, so
That's right here.
Yeah, to bring what we got there.
So you get a +1 in fight and brawn.
As they are pugnacious and in their prime. What a great word, pugnacious.
Pugnacious. Is that all we need the book for?
I believe so, because we've established our relationship. We're not creating the town for this one, so we don't need that. Yeah, we've established a relationship. We got your strengths and flaws. So the follow-up question now is, hey, Cassidy and Clyde, do you want a talking animal sidekick?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Clyde definitely wants one. Clara, Cassidy, do you want a talking sidekick?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Do you want this to be essentially Scooby-Doo, but we change the name as in it's like Zammy Scam?
Something
or
stupid like Scrappy or something like
no,
that?
I'm not gonna say that. Nobody say that. We're not doing Scrappy-Doo. I'm burnt out on that character. I think we all watched the live-action Scooby-Doo movie, probably, where... No, you haven't. Okay, perfect.
You
Spoiler
are
alert.
more clean than we are.
Spoiler alert from like 1990 something, late 90s. Was that late 90s or was that 2000s?
Wasn't
I think
Freddy
it was early 2000s.
It's where they go to the island and it's live action.
Park, right?
It's like is it an abandoned amusement park?
It's something like that. Live action.
It's like a luau setting. It's like Hawaiian or something because I remember that. Yeah, the scenes 2002. The scenes I remember in my head are there's a scene where they switch bodies. And I thought this was so. I remember Fred being Daphne, looking down his own shirt, going cool. And then I remember. Hold on. Yeah, that one. And then I remember Scrappy Doo being the ultimate villain. Spoiler alert: Scrappy Doo is one of the ultimate villains. He grows to like this monstrous size, and then I think he pees on somebody. So truly, it was the height.
A work of art.
Yes. And look, Shaggy was okay in that movie. I like Shaggy in that movie. Live action Shaggy's been pretty good. Everybody else, I was like, yeah, the plot was super forgettable, whatever. But Shaggy was good. So yeah, we're not gonna do Scrappy Doo. Do you want it to be a dog, a bird? It could, so it needs to be a talking animal, right? It could be an aardvark. it could be
How about a dwarf hamster?
A dwarf hamster? Hell yeah.
That's amazing.
Clearly I like rodents.
Oh, is he back there? I can't even see him back there.
Oh, there's two of them. They're eating.
Double.
I would take them. They're eating. They're guinea pigs.
That's adorable. Stretch on a reference. Do you know Baldur's Gate at all?
Mm-mm.
Do you know Jackson? Do you know Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
Do you know Boo?
Oh yes.
Go for the eyes, Boo. It's here's this giant Russian man who has a hamster from space, and he uses it to it's his combat compatriot, and he sends it at people and tells it Boo, its name is Boo, to go for the eyes.
I want a pocket attack hamster.
Okay, it's like Pocket Sam, but pocket hamster. Just love it. Okay, what do you want to name it?
I think its name has to be Sand now.
Sand.
Pocket Sand.
You pocket sand somebody. Okay. Sand the dwarf hamster. I need to think of a voice for Sand the dwarf hamster.
Have fun with that.
Yeah. Okay. So we have that. All right. I think then we're pretty good to go, and we'll just get started. Again, as opposed to D&D, this game isn't so much about. I'm not going to have you roll skill checks as often. A lot of this is narrative. We roll skill checks at critical moments to try to give them more weight. Sometimes I'll do it frivolously because it's fun. And rolling dice is fun. But a lot of the times it won't be like roll a perception check to see if you're getting ambushed. It will be more roll a charm check to see if you can smooth talk somebody. That sort of thing. Okay. Jackson, where'd you go? Jackson, come back.
I'm coming back. I was grabbing the water.
I wanted to start and you left. Oh, okay, you got water.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, do we want to go over the safety rules?
Yes, Jackson, that is a great idea. Yes. So, the idea, this is something that we actually took from the Kids with Bikes system, but we've been implementing into all of our RPG systems, something that we really like. We want role models, and particularly when we play RPGs in general, we want it to be a safe space. We want it to be somewhere people are comfortable, and we're not going to upset anyone through playing. So from the Kids on Bike system, we're using something called the, I think it's the VHS rule set,
Mm-hmm.
the VHS rule set. So the ideas are when you're confronting a difficult situation. This is as a player or the person running the game, the DM. Uh, you have the option to pause, fast forward, or rewind. And everybody has to respect that when it comes up. Pause means that you want to stop the situation and you want to talk about it, and then you can decide whether or not the situation proceeds or not. Rewind is if you are particularly unhappy with something or something is triggering to you. That is totally fine, and you can totally throw that out there. We'll rewind and essentially do the scene over. It's like that improv game Change, if you've ever played that. That's the idea behind rewind. And then fast forward is you are okay with the situation that's going on, you just don't want the details about it. My favorite example is the pan to the window shot during some folks making love, and pan to the window and like waves crashing on the shore. That's a fast forward from old movies when they didn't want to show the sex scene. They just wanted to talk about they just wanted to show something else. So that is all on the table, and you can use it at any time, and you should be encouraged to. Players or the DM can do that. For right off the bat, if there's anything that you know in particular you don't want to go into, you feel free to let us know. For example, obviously, I'm not going to do anything with sexual assault or race. I really don't want to bring those into my RPG circles. It's totally fine if you want to explore those with groups. I think RPGs are a great way to like involve yourself in those sort of things, but I'm not going to do that tonight. In general, when it comes to sexuality in my games, I tend to play flirtatious or the fade to window stuff. I don't like to get graphic. And again, that really doesn't come up in Kids on Bikes, but can come up in other game systems. We have a friend who is very much, it's Jeff, who doesn't like gore. So something that I have to tone back. I have a lot of fun doing a lot of different things, and I think a gross out factor is something I like to do sometimes in games. But he doesn't like that, so I don't do that around him. That sort of thing. And I won't do that tonight because this is a Scooby-Doo game, and we're probably not going to go into like, I don't know, gross stuff in a Scooby-Doo game outside of like, ew, manure or something. I don't know. So yeah, if you have anything that's like that for you, feel free to let us know now if you think of it, or later. You can totally do it. Otherwise, we'll just get started. So we're talking about the Beauregard estate. You two neighbors. So we start addressing folks as their names here. So Clyde and Cassidy. Cassidy recently got a letter in the mail saying that her grandfather had passed away. And to give an idea of where we're at, you are traveling down to Mississippi, where the estate is located. And as for time period, this is, I think, early 1930s. So we're a little bit far back. Again, something that's very meta note, something that's a part of Kids on Bikes games is you want to have an isolated setting, normally a small town, and you want it to be before everybody has cell phones, because that's where a lot of this, you want it so everybody knows each other, but there's this idea that black helicopters from the government could come flying in at any moment. You're not that isolated. So I was 1930s, early 1930s. And again, we're not going to be like super specific about that. As somebody who's played before, we don't care if you reference movies or stuff that's out of the time period. Just don't whip out a laptop, and you'll be fine. So early 1930s, driving down to Mississippi. I just imagine in general, your parents are fairly lax. You're a strong, independent young woman. You are definitely you're the one driving the car, not Clyde. Clyde was too afraid to take the driving test, so he did not go out and get his license yet. You have your license, and you've been driving cars since your parents taught you when you were younger. So like 11, 12, they were starting to show you like, this is how a car gets drove. And when you're 13, 14, you're starting to drive. So you're driving on down. Do you know what state you're coming from? How long of a trip is this? for you too?
Good question.
I'll throw it at. I'll specify Claire. What state are you all from?
Let's say Georgia.
Okay.
Not that far. We're going slightly west.
So you're from Georgia, traveling west. And Clyde, how's the trip been for you?
Well, we started very early in the morning. So a little unnerving as I see the lights start to turn off as the sun comes up. But I have been basically close to getting in the fetal position in the back seat of the car.
Okay. What kind of car is it, Clyde?
Boy, 1930s.
Yeah, what's a 1930s car?
Like the earliest possible version of a station wagon.
Oh my god. Yeah, that sounds good. So you're at a station wagon.
Wooden sides.
So you all drive down the station wagon. Clyde keeps alternating between the front and the back seat, depending on how scared he is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Cassidy's just going the whole way. You both get to have dialogues along the way with Sand, the talking hamster, dwarf hamster that lives in your pockets. And I'm assuming it's this hamster. It has to have like a squeaky voice, right? So like, does he have like a Scooby Doo thing going on? Does he do the R? So like, what am I talking about? Pick a different radio station. I hate the songs. His strong taste in music. Yeah, so Sand's going down there every once in a while. You're like giving him some feed or like some little kibble bits. I believe that's what, I don't know the exact word for it, but I'm thinking like hamster food. It's like little pellets. So yeah, you're driving down there, and because you're coming out of Georgia for the sunshine down there all the time, and you're just driving west. And how long is that drive actually? Does anyone know? I'm trying to think. Is this multiple days or no?
I mean, if you're going from like
Georgia.
Savannah to like far side of Mississippi, it's probably 10 hours.
Okay. So yeah, you got up early. You spent all day getting over there. At some point during your travel, when you're getting very close, you realize you're checking the map. Clyde's trying to figure out where they're going, trying to be the guide, and you realize that you need to turn off onto one of these side roads. And as opposed to the bright, sunny road that you've been on, it's like this creepy back road that you're turning right onto. So the path goes from concrete to more like dirt and gravel. And it's a situation where the trees are hanging overhead. It kind of almost look like hands. Clyde's probably not having a good time.
We almost miss it because I'm not that great. I'm not that smart. So I keep on trying to put the map in front of Cassidy to try to show her where to go. But yeah, it's not a great drive.
Swerving over the road.
You make your way over there barely because Clyde is just harassing you with the map. And yeah, and you make your way to the side road and you start driving down it. It's very over as you get down this road. It's almost like the sun went away. Like it's overcast now. It's dark. It's not drizzling, but it could be. And as you're driving along, you start to hear some sirens behind you, and you look back, and there's a cop following you. And you're like, where the hell did this guy come from? He must have been like sitting in the trees.
Proceed to get into the fetal position.
So Clyde gets in the fetal position, and you pull over, and the cop gets out and comes up. Now, wearing a plain dark tan suit, wearing like the cowboy sheriff's hat, and he comes on up, a rotund man, no facial hair, kind of like a double chin thing going on. Walks up, knocks on your window, you roll it down. He's like, what y'all doing down these parts? Driving a little fast. Where y'all headed?
We are headed to my grandfather's house. What was my grandfather's house? Now it's my house.
Oh, well, look at you, young entrepreneur, getting yourself a house, getting established. It's like, yeah, you all look like out of town. You're not from around here, are you?
No, we are not.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. You looking for the house? Just keep on down that road. About 15 more minutes, you'll pass through the graveyard, and then you'll be there.
Graveyard.
You hear Clyde basically like sigh as if he's losing all of his breath.
Yeah,
Like-
family graveyard for the Beauregards. I got it established right there on the property. And I'll tell you what. And he looks over at Clyde, who's in the fetal position. He kind of leans into you a little bit closer, like, I'll tell you what. You best be careful around there. Heard that place is haunted. You won't know that.
There are whimpers coming from the back seat.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for the heads up.
Yeah. Now I pulled you over because you're going a little fast, but I am a kindly man. By the way, Jim Hank, make your acquaintance. Give me a call if you need me. I work the local area. I'm just about the only one who does. Hey, you all having a nice. He kind of looks out like, it looks like night. Have a nice day. And he makes his way back to his car, leaves you two, drives off. As you hear back, you start to hear some chatter. His radio is up really loud. And you start to hear like, coming in, Sheriff Hank, coming in, Sheriff Hank. And you're like, what? What is it? And he's like, we got a report about there's been an accident recently. There's been a circus train that's overturned. Now some of the animals got loose. And he's like, oh, well, I gotta go. I gotta go looking out for that. All right, you two stay safe. Said he makes his way off. Yeah, he like turns around, goes back up the road that you all came down.
Where was the accident? I roll down the window. I go, where was the accident?
Nearby. It's none of your business.
Oh God! I roll back out the window.
Within walking distance. So yes, leads you to continue through. You'll drive up, and now about this time, the foliage is starting to get a lot thicker on the ground. The road is much less traveled at this point. In some way, you like make your way. You almost can't see the path through the bushes, but along the road you go, and you pass into this very large graveyard. Maybe this is something that a couple of different estates have folks buried here. You know, it was Beauregard family estate. As you're driving through a very windy road, a couple of like hills and mounds, you can see a small mausoleum off to the left side. And you know that you also notice that looks like as you're getting closer to the property, this entire graveyard is gated off. But as you get past it, you start to see the Beauregard estate sitting very disrepaired, looks like. Kind of got the shutters hanging off. Some of the windows might be boarded. The house itself is painted darkly. So like a very dark, dim blue almost. You can see like green or mold and mosses growing up on some of it. There's a large chimney, it looks like, coming out the top, and many windows which are all shuttered and closed. And as you pull up,
ominous at all.
No, not at all. And you pull up, definitely not haunted. And you pull up, and you park your car, and you notice that the ground here is very soft and muddy, and it's almost like you're starting to lose a little bit of traction with your vehicle, with your station wagon, with your station wagon. As you park in there, and you've arrived at the Beauregard estate, and you both hop out of your car. And your instinct, as you look around, you kind of take in the trees, sparsely populated, but there's like a thin mist hanging along the ground, obscuring a lot of the vision, especially as you get farther away. Again, these trees are very old and gnarled. A lot of them are dead. For some unknown reason, a lot of them are dead. And you can see that there is, off to the right, about probably 100 feet, what looks to be a well that has like the stereotypical well roof, so rainwater doesn't get into it, and it can get from the natural fresh water underneath. But that looks like it's boarded up as well. You make your way up to the front door.
Are
I'm
there any
assuming
lights on?
no, you do not see any lights on. Although it is overcast right now, but it's still daytime, so that
Okay.
it is bright enough to see around here. Yeah.
Alright.
So you'll make your way up to the front door. Cassidy will be leading.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Yeah. You got the key, and you're sitting there, and you realize, like, I don't see a lock. Where's the door lock? And as you're looking, the door like creaks open
By itself.
by itself, and you pause for a second, and you take a step in, and then you hear "Hello," and you realize it was not by itself. As you look to your right, there is this hunchback figure in a black suit wearing very dark sunglasses with kind of like scraggly teeth, like hello, you must be the new master.
Yep, that's me. You can call me your mistress.
Ah, yes, Mistress Beauregard. And you've brought a friend.
I am trying my absolute best to hide behind Cassidy. It's not working well, but I'm trying my best.
Clyde, would you like to introduce yourself to this kindly old gentleman?
Absolutely. He's like, I'm Sand. The dwarf is like, or whatever. He blows him off.
Didn't phase him at all.
No. We live in a world where Scooby-Doo can talk, so apparently talk animals, yeah. He's like, aren't you adorable? It's like, I am Ivan. A pleasure to make you. I'm the manservant of the house.
Always wanted a manservant.
Well, you're in luck. It is I, Ivan, the manservant.
Ivan, are there any lights in this building?
Yeah. We have working electricity, but some of the bulbs are on the fritz. And
Okay.
I don't need to look so much. My eyesight's not that good. I know it mostly by memory now.
Okay.
And
It doesn't help me.
And what is your name, kind sir? And I should mention that this hunchback man might not be that old. He just has this really odd voice about him. he's got like pretty like unkempt red hair and like a crooked smile, but he's probably like 30, maybe 35. You're assuming. So he's not like decrepit in terms of age, but his voice definitely is. And he is definitely giving you those stereotypical manservant vibes.
Yeah. I go, my name's Clyde. How long have you been here, Ivan?
All my life. I served here as my father did before me. And as I served the previous Master Beauregard, I thought he'd leave the mansion to me, the estate to me, but no, that's fine. You're the mistress now, and I would be accommodating. Cassie snaps at him. She's like, he almost recoils, like,
Only weakness.
Sass. Oh, God. He's like, please make yourself at home, and I'm assuming you've come here searching for the treasure.
Treasure?
Yes.
Nope.
The treasure of old Beauregard's estate. Some say that before he died, he left it hidden amongst the grounds. And certainly you're here looking for it. I mean, why else would you come down to such a out in the middle of nowhere location?
It's a wonderful question.
Yes.
I don't know why it's dark. It's dark here. I'm so sorry.
It is, and haunted by ghosts.
Thank you for clarifying that. Oh,
You must be careful about the spirits. They'll get you in the mist.
first time I've heard spirits. That's also good. Also
Yes.
great. Also great.
Some say that your grandfather still haunts these grounds. And about this time, all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, like a Civil War rapier goes into a wall nearby everybody. And he's like, ah! Mr. Beauregard, that's no way to treat your guest.
So amazing.
Yeah. Like, welcome in.
I'm gonna just like boop the sword and see if it's actually there.
It twings it. As you do that, Sand hops out of Cassie's pocket and like climbs up and like nibbles on it a little bit. He's like, yeah, it's a real sword.
Seemed awfully conveniently timed, though. Don't you think?
I do think that, yeah, you're not wrong. There's something fishy going on here. And then Sand turns and looks at Ivan, and very similar to before, like, does that, like, hunches away. Like, he almost doesn't like being looked at, like, don't look at me.
Can I, is there anything I can do to see if he's lying about the grandfather? If, like, he's intentionally trying to deceive us?
If he's trying to, like, sell you a story?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's... Roll a charm check to try to emotionally read Ivan.
That's a 2.
Okay. The number I had in my head was 6.
Okay.
So you
also,
failed.
how many adversity tokens do we start with?
You start with 2.
Okay, cool.
That will be worth noting. So you have 2 adversity tokens, and now you have another one, Clyde.
Oh, right.
And as you're doing that, you're leaning in, and Sand kind of like climbs up on your shoulder and leans in, looking with you, to the point where Ivan turns to meet you. He's like, "What are you looking for, sir? Perhaps you ought to look into my good eye." And then he takes off his sunglasses, and he's got like one false, like, sideways eye.
No.
The other one looking right at you. And he's like,
Sand here's been with us for a while. I'm just wondering. I was just wondering if you had one. You know, okay.
What, a pet?
Yeah, I mean, he talks. So.
Yes, Sand the talking dwarf hamster. We've all heard of Sand the talking dwarf hamster. The only animals I know on this territory are stuffed. Except, perhaps, for the ghost of Bobo.
Bobo?
Yes. Your grandfather, he was a hunter. After he retired from the Civil War, he went on many expeditions in Africa and brought back many trophies. Upstairs, you can see there's a room full of some of his greatest captures, including the great ape, Bobo.
No.
The great ape. Some say that his spirit still haunts the ground to this day. I say that! Laughs again.
This Ivan guy.
I want to go up and look at the room.
Right. Would you like a tour, sir? And madame?
Well, it is her house, so
Of course, she'll lead the way, but I've got my eye on you. It kind of leads you around the premises. Let me flip to my page.
I'm glad that you finally ordered that book, the How to Be an Evil Henchman.
Yeah. I've worked on this for several years. My father, he was not the best at it. He really didn't perfect the laugh. So the first room that you're in here, as I flip around, the first room that you're in here is an open foyer / living area. To the right hand, you see a fireplace, which is what that chimney is coming out of, the center of the building, large fireplace. with several what looks like old, like flaking springs pointing out couches and love seats around it. To the right, you see a wet bar with like cobwebs on all of the drinks, and the bar itself has not been dusted in a very long time. There's several.
What does he do? What does Ivan do all day?
He doesn't have an eye for cleaning, that's for sure.
I'd like you much more if you weren't here to steal the fortune that rightfully belongs to me. And so there's
He's laughing at his own inadequacy. That's just hilarious.
You have to know your place in the world. It's good to come to terms with one's own shortcomings. So he mentioned there's the chimney, there's the seats, there's the on the side the bar. There are about 6 windows in here, 4 of them facing the front of the house with the 2 doors opening into the center, and the 2 on either side of the house. The room itself is kind of like an L Tetris piece to give you a visualization, like laying on its side. So, and this is where the chimney and the bar are. On the left, you can see almost by itself is a gramophone, a large gramophone that looks pretty well kept, and a selection underneath it of old vinyls that have been looks like recently used. And Ivan steers you all looking at it. It's like, I do love the music. It sings to me so sweetly. And then as you go past that into the back, this is a long hallway with a high ceiling. There's a crystal chandelier that's hanging up, refracting the light. Another window alongside this hallway on the left-hand side. Directly in front of you is a door. He's like, that is my room. Don't go in there! Okay. And he makes his way past the room. Like, past the room, here's the kitchen. Yes.
Past the room, are we still going down a hallway?
So the way that this hallway goes, the first half, or the first area you'll remember, is an L shape.
Yeah.
As you come up, there is, ahead of you is Ivan's door, then the hallway goes right. Right here, there's a staircase that spirals upwards.
Okay.
So in the middle, there's a staircase, there's a front lobby, and then there's this back hallway.
So are we headed towards the staircase?
We're passing the staircase right now, because
Okay.
he's showing you the first floor first.
As he goes past his door, I'd like to open the door and quickly look into his room.
Okay. So you try the handle real quick, and it's locked.
Yeah. Dang it. Okay. And I
yeah, he doesn't hear anything. He doesn't see.
All I can hear is the music.
All I can hear is the music singing to me. The sweet melody. And he makes his way past it. On the left-hand side, there is there's another door. And he's like, this, and he opens it up, leads to the kitchen, or I will be preparing the kitchen and the dining room. There's there's 2 doors. The first one is the dining room, which is the room itself. It's got some antique paintings hanging up on the wall, and then instead of a normal small single window, there's a large window looking at the backyard. Again, it's just this decrepit swamp essentially. And then the table itself has not been used in a long time. You can tell it hasn't been dusted. The tablecloth has not been cleaned. The candelabras which exist, have cobwebs all over them. It's like, I normally eat in bed. He makes his way past that door to the next door. He's like, this would be the kitchen, where I will be preparing for you several delicacies. And it just opens up, and it's just a cold gray room, a slab island in the center, where chopping of meats is prepared. There's several utensils along the wall. There is a cabinet on the right hand side for all of the cutlery and silverware and dishes that you would need. And on the left hand side, there is a meat locker, a meat freezer. And as you walk back into the hallway, at the very end of the hallway is a trap door. It's like, that leads to the cellar. Don't mind it. Only I need to really go down there, and that's to grab anything that might be chilling. You get it? And that one is also locked, and he makes his way back with you. But he's a good guy. And he makes his way back with you. Like, now we'll go upstairs. And he leads you upstairs. This one is a single hallway heading forward, and you can see that there are 6 doors, 3 on the left-hand side, 3 on the right-hand side, and at the very end of the this hallway, which this is like the length of the house essentially, you can see a small balcony that leads outside. There's a balcony that leads outside, and there's also a drop down that goes to the attic. There's nothing but dust and memories up there. And then he points to the left. He's like, this is the guest bedroom. You might stay there if you wish, but it's nothing as compared to the grandioseness of the master bedroom. And then he motions one more door on the left-hand side. So the first door is the guest bedroom. The second door is the servants' quarters. This is for when especially when somebody was being attended there, the servant would just like operate in that room. There's a small cot in there for naps, but it's not like the living space. That is a in between. If somebody rings the bell, then they can be summoned. And then further down is the master bedroom.
I have to get my computer charger.
Okay, cool. So Clyde, it's just you and Ivan.
You this is total payback for the Call of Cthulhu game, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's just you and Ivan now, Clyde. He's looking at you like,
oh, no.
You're very young.
Clyde, you said, or Ivan, you said that you eat mostly in bed.
Correct.
Is that soup?
Mostly breads.
That sounds about right.
Yes. I love carbs. Give me the energy I need. I love pasta. It also keeps very well. Anything canned.
So the least amount of preparation.
Absolutely. This is not. Say what?
Those are the delicacies he was talking about.
Yes, delicacies.
Delicious.
I know. Truly, this is the height of luxury. So he references that. He's like, oh, I'm glad to see you've returned. This further one down here on the left. It's just the master bedroom. And he opens it up, and there's this large king-sized bed that has like this ornate drapery that is like, as opposed to the guest bedroom, which was very dusty, this room is remarkably well kept. No dust in here. The bed sheets are clean, folded very nicely. All you can see to the left is a large portrait of your grandfather Beauregard wearing his Union Civil War outfit, like doing a pose. He's like, ah, yes, the old Master Beauregard. He was a great man who met an untimely end, as do we all.
How did he die?
Of old age.
Do I believe him?
Yes.
Do I believe him? Oh crap! That's the worst.
You don't know what to make of it. It sounds like Clyde. Yeah, it sounds like Clyde. You don't believe him. So we'll just put that out there that you don't believe him.
Okay.
He's like, and this is where all of his old wardrobes and outfits exist. And this I've kept as clean for the next master or mistress that would be entering this abode, as such as yourself. Would you like to go by Mistress Beauregard or Mistress Cassidy?
Mistress Beauregard for you is fine.
Thank you. And he can, like, you can tell he says it with spite. Thank you for the honor.
You're so welcome, Ivan. So welcome.
And he motions to the end. Over here, you saw there's an entrance in the hallway. It's like, that is the mistress's entrance to the balcony, which overlooks the surrounding woods. And if you peer very far into the distance, you can see the neighbors. And, and he'll take you out into the balcony, and you can see, like, in the distance, what seems to be like a small log cabin with a tin roof. It's like, that's where the Sumptons live.
The who?
The Sumptons.
The Sumptons?
The Sumptons. Yes. They hate the Beauregards, or at least the son does. Don't let him catch you walking on the property, or else you might find yourself meeting an untimely end.
What's the son's name?
That's a great question that I do have the answer to. Hold on. His name. Where the fuck did I write it down at? I don't do well. You help, you know.
Ivan, language.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must think of the children. I believe it was Billy Bob.
Billy Bob Sumpton.
Yes. Billy Bob.
Wrong Southern name, Billy Bob.
Yes. Yes, Billy Bob Sumpton. Currently, the older folks have passed away, so it's just the Sumpton son and daughter who live on the premises.
What's
so it's
the father's name?
Billy Bob and Clarice.
Clarice Sumpton. Amazing.
Yes. Whenever you mind the events of the outside world, trouble yourselves not with those outside this grand abode. Let me lead you to the next room. So now we're like facing back.
A one-man cult.
Now we're facing back down the way that we came in. So now, if we were facing the balcony before, we're at the end of the hallway, the other side. There's not a third door that enters into this other room, so it's just the door in the hallway and the door in the master bedroom. And this side door opens up, and you can set. As you walk in here, you can see that this room is actually 2 rooms wide in width, and this room is filled with just memorabilia, books, trophies. Like, this is his trophy room. Yes, this is where the master kept all his trophies from the war and from some of his hunts. And he motions to like some of the tusks hanging from the ceiling and like a chandelier made of bones. And then you have all of these like good taste. He has excellent taste, that man. As I hope you will too, Mistress Beauregard. And you too, Clyde.
I will not be decorating, but thank you.
What should I call him?
Just Clyde.
Clyde. Yes. Clyde. Yes. You wish to meet Bobo. So they lead you past. You can see where the other room. It has a doorway at the end of this room that is curtained off with a purple velvet curtain. It's dusty. This room's dusty too. Like the shelves. This room is lined with shelves that contain like old books and tombs, and like old guns that are in display cases, and some of these animal skulls and trophies. It's like every animal he stuffed is in here, and he brings you into this next room, pulls the curtain aside, and you can like see the dust hanging in the air. And in this room, you can see the first thing that immediately dominates your eyesight is in the center of the room is this huge, like 8-foot tall stuffed gorilla making a very vicious pose, facing the door as you come in. Like, this is Bobo.
Cute.
He's the only one that the master named. He had naught but contempt for the other animals. And he motions around to like a leopard, and there's like a boar skin rug that has been thrown down, and like various birds and heads of elk that have been put around this room. Like, yes. So now
do with sand when he dies.
Don't you put that on me! I'm not going here!
I just start petting him.
Thank you! I'm not ending up in this room! What these out? This is. How would you feel if you walked into a room and it was a bunch of people stuff? That would be messed up, right? That'd be whack.
That'd be whack.
Like, yeah. So now you've seen everything that the delightful estate has to offer. Do you have any questions or wishes for me? If not, I will go prepare the meals.
What's for dinner?
I'm glad you asked. Meatloaf of the finest quality, baked and baked with the finest brand of Heinz ketchup that I have to offer. With chopped meats and vegetables, very healthy for strong, growing mistresses like yourself. And like Clyde, less so for the hamster. I don't. What do you normally eat? Pellets? I'm not familiar with hamsters.
We've got him covered.
Excellent. Well, now, if you need anything, I will be found downstairs. There is a bell in every room that you could attend, and if you ring a bell, I will appear. Have no fear.
Okay. Is there a bell in this room?
There is a bell in this room. Next to almost every door, there is a little end table with a small silver bell on it.
Perfect.
Yeah, in the master bedroom, it's right next to the bed, and both the bedrooms next to the bed, and the other rooms is next to like the entrances to them.
Okay.
Did you?
I'm gonna wait until he gets down the hallway, and then I'm gonna ring it.
All right. So he walks like, yes, and he walks down the hallway, and you're like, I got an idea, and you ring the bell, and then immediately from behind you, yes, you rang, and somehow
here. I just wanted to check.
Always here, always listening for the bell and the music. And he like shuffles past you again. If you don't know how he got behind you, he shuffles past you again and goes down the hall.
Oh God.
Do it again.
Okay. Well, we got the tour.
Yeah, that's a fishy dude.
I'm interested in this treasure, but I don't think even he knows where it is, or he would have left by now.
Yeah, I agree completely. He probably would have taken it and ran. He's not much of a housekeeper.
No, I don't know why he got. Is he paid? Do we have to pay him?
I don't know. Can I fire him?
Can we fire him?
I bet I can.
Do you think if we fire him, he's just gonna like turn to dust? Like, does he only exist here?
I don't know.
I mean, there's one way to find out, and that's to fire him. But I mean, he might have some information. maybe hold off on that for now. All right. Well, what time is it?
That a line.
This is I have about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh God, he's gonna fix a meal now. That's very early for dinner.
Yes, the master turned in early, normally, and also I get sleepy.
Old man stuff. Exactly.
Yes.
He looks like he's 30.
Yeah, for his warped physique, he doesn't seem to be that old. He just moves very slowly. And he's got like unusually long arms for his body. Like lanky wrist.
I did not need that detail.
Yeah.
Like him. I don't like him at all.
Well, so where are the places he didn't want us to go?
The cellar and his room, and he mentioned the attic that said there was nothing but dust and memories up there.
So let's go to the attic.
I'm with it.
Okay. So you all walk on over.
Before I leave the room, I'm going to like pretend to leave and then like look back at Bobo. Just be sure.
Yeah, you look back at Bobo. Looks like the statue might be a little closer than before.
No.
You're not.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave that room. Close the door.
Yeah, you close the door, and then while the two of you are like out of frame, walking down the hallway, the statue blinks. So you all make your way over out to the balcony where the entrance to the attic is. It's a ladder that leads up to a door that opens to the side of the attic. So you climb on up, pop in there. This is ancient in here. You can see several old chests and wardrobes that look like in disrepair, broken boxes, excess fabrics, and maybe like rotted parcels and notes, things that were gotten rid of or thrown up here to be forgotten about. And this attic is obviously thinner because the roof needs space to exist. You can see the space where the chimney comes up. It's not very well lit in here at all. There are 2 windows. Actually, there's more than that. How many windows are there? So there's 6 windows, but they are at each end. So the center is not very well lit. There's one as you're coming up. There's one on either side of the building, and then nearby those corners of the building, there's 2 windows on each. There's a window on each side to look out. And as you come up here, things that you notice, you see all these old trunks. You can see a couple of old spy glasses, it looks like. Some in disrepair, some in better shape. A couple of them are strategically positioned at windows, it looks like. Yeah.
I want to go up to one that is in good condition. And I want to look through it.
All right. So this is the one pointed nearby the front of the house, and this one points off towards the graveyard. And as you like peer through it, you can see that it's trained essentially on the mausoleum.
Okay.
Just a note, I never actually got into the attic. I am peering up just on the ladder. I'm not going in.
Okay. And so Clyde's off on the side, and Cassidy, you're just like, fuck this noise, I'm gonna go look. And you're peering through it, and you kind of see in the distance, you think you see like this large hulking shape. It's out of focus because of the distance and the light, and it's moving through the mist, but you see like something large kind of shift behind the mausoleum as you peer at it.
Clyde, come look at this.
I'm okay over here.
Well,
so there's a second spyglass on Clyde's side if you want to go back towards him.
Yeah.
And as you peer through that spyglass, this one is very well trained on the Sumpton house.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the one I want to look through.
Yeah. So you peek through that, and you see what looks to be a young man wearing overalls, no shirt on under the overalls. Looks like he's just wearing overalls. And like a really tattered straw hat. He's got what looks to be a blunderbuss in his arms. He's kind of rocking back and forth on the porch. And this guy he's not too much older than you all, like early 20s maybe. Okay. And you see him down there. He's like got a piece of hay in his mouth, twitching, looking ornery about something, but you don't know what.
Billy Bob looks real friendly. Clyde, you want to come see?
Sure. I climb up and I look through.
So you look through, and in that time that you shuffled, Billy Bob's not there anymore. What you do see is this very attractive early 20s woman with like little pigtails, brown hair, wearing also like pretty tattered clothes, but it's like a crop top and like denim dukes, walking around the porch, and like she spits into a spit jar nearby and then walks past.
That's Billy Bob?
I'm gonna push him aside and look.
Billy Bob has returned. He's just sitting there on the porch. So nothing has changed from your point of view. Yeah.
I mean, pretty attractive. I look back.
Clarice is back there. She's walking around. This time she's got like the jugs of water that she's bringing in for some reason. Yeah.
And they do their choring quickly. Holy crap.
Yeah. That one effect.
I'm gonna run over to the other one now that I'm up here.
All right. So you run over. You have to pass through the dark, in the center of it. So you get like real anxious. You just run past it all. You get to the other spyglass, and you peer out there. And this time you're looking at the mausoleum as well, and you see as you look out there, sitting on what looks like, or not sitting, but standing on the steps of the mausoleum, looks to be this hunched figure, not hunched like Ivan, but like that's similar, and they seem to be wearing some sort of green cloak. And they pause for a second and they turn, and you see like this gnarled, warty face of some old woman. You just see her smile, missing teeth, and she points at you.
I get out of the attic.
So Clyde walks over.
I basically I grab I grab sand and I go nope, and I just start.
Why'd you see? They didn't fair. I didn't see anything. I want to look at it. What does Billy Bob look like?
I put sand onto the glass so I can look through.
I don't know how optics works for a hamster. It's not that big.
You want to see it?
I don't see anything. What do you see?
Okay, bye. Go.
Oh, no! So you see Sand and Clyde just like, oh, we're leaving. And they like run down. About this time, you hear, as if echoing from like not a particular source, you hear, dinner is ready.
Oh, no.
Oh, meatloaf.
Yeah. So Clyde, would you, and Clyde and Cassidy, would you like to go to dinner?
No, but I feel like we have to.
So are you contractually obligated?
Yeah.
It's common courtesy. Just gotta go to dinner.
Not piss him off until we fire him, right?
Right. So you show up, and you come into the dining room, which the walls haven't been cleaned, but the table has been cleaned. And somehow the chandelier has been cleaned. Yeah, you know what? Like I tried to do the best I could in the time allotted to me, but there's only so fast that these old bones can move.
How old are you, Ivan?
32.
That sounds about right. Okay.
They told me I was spry for my age.
Interesting.
Yes.
Where's the meatloaf?
It's on the table. He looks at the table. It doesn't look like bad meatloaf. You all sit down. You start trying. It's not bad.
Okay.
And he's like, while you're eating, perhaps I could tell you some more about our historic estate. I already mentioned to you the treasure, which you're obviously not here to steal from me.
Well, you haven't found it, so it wouldn't be stealing, would it?
Yes, it would, because it's mine by birthright.
It's yours?
Yours by
Because
birthright?
I served my time here. I deserve that treasure.
I think you should read up on the meaning of birthright, number one. Number two, it's mine. So.
That's assuming you find it, or you don't leave or mysteriously disappear in the woods.
But you haven't found it.
No.
Okay.
They do say that the master left clues around the premises about where it might be hidden, but I haven't found any.
And how long have you been here?
All my life.
The long 32 years.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You haven't found any clues. That's okay.
Well, he only passed away recently. I was not looking before then.
That sounds lazy.
You sound stupid.
Sounds really contentious.
Yes, anyhow. Yes, as the master said, he left clues. But I have also heard tale of a witch of the wilds that you must beware of.
Which?
A witch.
What does she look like? Not that I need to ask.
Right. Hunched back, green cloak, whorled naughty face. No.
Is this a relative of yours?
Younger sister. She's 25.
I am an only child. But thank you for asking.
You're so well.
No, it's not. It's simply a witch of the wilds. She is, I've heard tell that she's long since been around the premises, trying to get at your grandfather for crimes long forgotten.
What type of crimes? Oh, long forgotten. Yeah.
Long forgotten.
Worst kind.
Yes. As though I never knew them, because I didn't, because they were forgotten.
Long ago.
Long ago.
More than 32 years.
More than 32 years. At least 33 years. Perhaps older. For that I cannot say. But yes, I've seen her stalking the grounds. I throw rocks in her direction occasionally and then she leaves. But some say that she abducts children from these very woods.
Are there a lot of children in these woods typically?
Not anymore.
Shit.
Oh, God.
You two sorry. You two look pretty young yourself. I'd be careful.
Crap.
Yeah.
Unrelated question. How do these doors lock? Do they lock?
What doors?
The doors to the house. Do they lock?
The front doors?
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Can you show me how to do that in a little bit? Or can you make sure to lock them?
Absolutely.
Okay, that sounds good. Good.
Yes, we can have a learning and growing experience together as friends.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Well, it's only fair. The mistress is the mistress, but you could be anyone. Perhaps a friend. Perhaps an
another
enemy.
witch.
What?
What?
What did you say?
What?
No, I did not hear it, so I'm asking what you said.
Oh, I said perhaps I'm another witch, but yeah, that's not the point.
You could be.
And I quickly
Yeah.
Do I only have a key to the front door? Can I get the keys to the rest of the house? I mean, it is my house.
I'd have to have some made. Only I, and he pulls up a key ring with several old rusted iron keys. Only I have the keys to the house. Only I.
I'm gonna try to snatch it.
He like going Mistress, no. Only I. You need not bother yourself with such petty trifles.
Sounds like key security things to me.
Yes. Do not worry. I, Vin, will keep you safe.
That was corny. Van
will keep you safe. Yes.
Oh boy.
Had many years to work on my routine. Been here mostly alone. The master was widowed far longer before he passed. It was mostly just me and him on the estate, and he didn't talk to me much. I hated him, but I respected the position. It's important.
Hey, well.
Seems like you have a lot of pent-up anger about that.
Never.
So...
I certainly don't have a lot of pent-up anger about the fact that he left the mansion and presumably the treasure to this young whippersnapper. And not Ivan.
Well,
the loyal.
Him. There's probably good reason for that.
He never looked at me.
I can see why.
I couldn't see why.
I know.
It's probably the eye thing. Stop mocking me!
Meatloaf is great.
Yeah, Meatloaf's okay.
Oh, yeah, fine.
Yeah. It's like meatloaf and corn and like maybe like a really old can of cranberry sauce with the berries.
Oh, no.
I'm glad they got a reaction. I too hate the berries and cranberry sauce. Yes. Do enjoy yourselves. I will go retire to my chambers. Remember to ring if you need anything.
Well, we didn't get a full tour. We didn't see where you stay.
I told you. You don't need to see my room.
Well,
There's nothing.
I think that she owns 100% of this.
I own my bed and my cot,
Oh.
and my chest, and my wardrobe full of my identical black suits and sunglasses.
Cool. So you can own all of that on the front lawn unless you show us the room.
Mistress, I hate to bring this up, but I am contractually obligated for at least a 2-week period while you settle in. Like it's like the passing of office. You know how you have like the old president stays in to help the new president come in. I am contractually obligated to be here for at least 2 weeks to help the new master or mistress settle in. At which point then you could fire me. But you would never fire poor Ivan, would you? Would you?
It's not Ivan. We would never.
That is reassuring. He leaves.
I didn't get the hint that we were leaving, so I'm just still eating very, very slowly.
Oh no, just oh no, Ivan left.
Oh, perfect.
Or were you going with Ivan to see his room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we? Let's do it.
I was since you insisted, he's like, fine, I guess I'll show you. And he really half-asses this. He like opens the door, like gets a padlock, and he pops it open, and he creaks it open to this like again very dusty as well room, and you can see there's a wardrobe, small room, wardrobe off to the right side, no windows, a small candle, looks to be a journal at the desk, and a cot over to the left side, as well as a chest pushed underneath it. Are you happy? You have seen my private quarters.
I am Ivan. Thank you.
Do we see anything that shouldn't be there?
Yes. As you're like peeking by, you could swear you see something. Clyde, you notice it because he's primarily talking to Cassidy, but you think you see what looks to be like maybe, is that a small diamond on Ivan's desk? And as you notice that, then he shuts and locks the doors like, yes, you've seen all you need to see. And now I will bid you adieu, and I will go retire. Trying hard not to make that joke again. I could tell you didn't like it. He quickly opens the door and goes in and shuts the door.
Okay.
There's something weird in his room.
I didn't notice.
It looked like a diamond.
A diamond?
I mean, I didn't know he got paid, so that was new. Should we be checking out anything else?
Well, I'm curious about that cellar.
Oh, right.
About this time, you hear a knock at the front door.
No.
Let's go see who it is.
Oh, do we?
Actually, no, I'm going to knock on Ivan's door.
I've heard it, mistress. I'm coming.
Sucker.
And he
micromanaging him now.
He comes out. You could tell he heard you say that, everything. And he's like, fine, I'll get it. Then he walks over and he opens up. It's like, hello. And you can hear him talking off in the distance. Yes, hello. You kind of hear like maybe a female voice. It's like, yes. Oh, just a second. And he walks back. He's like, Mistress, the neighbor would like to meet you, and perchance ask you for a cup of molasses.
Absolutely. Why don't you go get her for that and also clear off our table while we're at it because we are done eating.
All right.
And Clyde, let's go talk to the neighbor.
That sounds terrible, but
I
sure.
will go get everything ready. I will be there. There's a bed in case you need me again. I will grab the molasses. And he shuffles off to clean up the dining room table. And you make your way up. And this is Clarice from next door.
Hello.
She's like, yeah. You see, she's like, "Oh, how y'all doing, neighbors?" Like, "Ooh!" She sees you, Clyde, and like, "Ooh, you are a cutie. Look at you."
I immediately say, "Oh, you must be Billy Bob."
No, shucks, darling, that's my brother. You can call me Clarice. Sometimes go by Candy, just for friends, though. You can call me Candy.
Candy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And you must be the new. I heard he had a granddaughter. You must be the new owner of the house. Nice to meet you. I'm Clarice. My friends call me Candy. You can call me Candy. I live right over the way with my brother Billy Bob. He doesn't like you folks too much. It's nothing to do with you. Just long history of feud in between the two houses. I just wanted to let you know. Yeah, but I came over for a cup of sugar, and it sounds like you all got something going on back there, so I do appreciate it so much. We just baking a cake.
What type of cake?
Oh, vanilla. We got some nice icing on it that we bought down at the local supermarket. And it's about like a long way away from here.
You said their families have been feuding. What is this feud?
Oh, something over land, and maybe at one point somebody stole a bucket.
Bucket.
A bucket. Well, some people say that bucket in the well that's on your property. Some say that bucket was stolen from the Sumptons about 300 years ago, and the family's been feuding ever since. Now, I don't know anything about that myself. It's not really my area of expertise, but Billy Bob certainly seems to have taken it to heart, just like his pa before he passed. And yeah, I think that's the main thing. But there's also land disputes, and I think they were both on separate sides. The two of us. When it came to the Union, the Confederacy, there's a lot of tensions during the Civil War. Just a lot of ongoing things between the Sumptons and the Beauregards.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
any day now with that molasses, am I right?
Is the bell anywhere nearby?
Yeah, the bell's right next to the door.
Immediately.
So you like go to pick up the bell, and like the gnarled hand stops you. It's like, "No, I'm here." And like from underneath, like in between your arm and your stomach, like pops his hand with a cup of sugar. Like, "Here you go."
Oh, what a creature.
Yeah, yes. It's like, "Oh, thank you so much, hon. I know Ivan. Yes, we know of each other." Yeah. Well, anyhow, I'm gonna leave now. Thank you so much for the sugar. If you need anything, ring, but don't talk to Billy Bob. He might try to shoot you.
Good to know. Thank you.
Very, very good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And about this time, you hear like a voice over maybe like 100 feet that way, like, "Damn gummit, Clarice, you still talking to them damn Beauregards? I see one of them, pop them." And like, "Give me just a minute. I'm working on stuff over here, okay? I'm getting the sugar." "Well, goddamn, I want that cake." And she's like, "All right, I got to be going." She leaves.
No.
I'm gonna close the door.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pause because I have to go to the bathroom real bad.
Yes.
Oh no.
So it's just you and Ivan again, Clyde.
I just want to point out that anytime I see a bell, I'm going to ring it.
Okay. Would you like that?
Amazing.
Yeah. I'll just let you know that the room you're in has a bell in it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Do you need to grab any water or anything? Because I was going to grab some water.
Yeah, you can grab water. I've got water right next to me. Okay. Hi, everyone. Again, hi, my name's Andrew. If you didn't catch me at the beginning, we're doing some lovely kids on bikes, having fun. And some of you, if you have noticed, this is my call to anyone watching YouTube. If you know what this plot I'm taking from is Scooby-Doo related, then you should totally comment it down below. And I'm curious to see how our two friends here will figure it out. Welcome back.
You talking to the viewers?
Oh, of course. Or you or myself later, whoever, or Jack, or Jeff, whenever he looks at it. Anybody, you know.
All right. So,
All right.
I want to sneak out the back and I want to follow them.
Oh, no.
Okay. So he's like, yes, I'm glad I could help with the sugar. And then Ivan retreats to his room. And about this time, Clyde, you watch Ivan go for a second and you turn around and like the front door is like slightly ajar. And you know that Cassidy has left.
I kind of do the like not very sure what to do kind of motion, like
About this time, sand pops out of your pocket. It's like, are you gonna be scared of cat?
shut up.
Yeah. You can do it. I believe in you. You can walk outside. We won't get shot, or if we get shot, they'll shoot you first, and they won't know I'm here.
That is terrible logic for making me want to go.
Well,
And I kind of walk through the door and I just like
yeah.
I imagine that any tree or any bush I'm just hiding behind as I am following.
Yeah. So about this time, you can see ahead that Cassidy is just making their way. You make your way across some like swampy ground. You walk for about 5 minutes and you make your way over to the like the bushes around the Sumpton house, and you see that it got a fire going. You can kind of peek, even though it's up on a hill. You can like see every once in a while Clarice moving around the window, just doing something inside. You can see Billy Bob sitting on that porch, rocking in that chair, a little bit sleepy, but still looking around. Chewin, what would you like to do? Particularly Cassidy, since you want to come out here.
I want to look in the window and see if they're actually baking a cake.
Okay, so you like sneak your way around back, and you creep up to the back of the building. Clyde, do you join?
Yes, but I'm still keeping my distance.
Are you gonna go up to the window, Clyde, or are you not? You can't keep your distance from the window, Clyde. You gotta get up there.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go next to the house. I'm just gonna watch.
All right. So Clyde watches from the bushes. You creep up to the house and you look inside. It's like a single room house, the kitchen and the beds. There's a fireplace over there. You can see there's like a wardrobe inside, and it does look like, with the oven that's on the property there, that she is indeed baking a cake. You see like breaking the eggs, like kneading the flour.
Is there anything abnormal or out of place in this house?
As you kind of peer around, you can tell one bed is Clarice's, like really well put together, like nicely folded, laundry like sitting at the edge of it and like hanging next to it, and like maybe today's newspaper. On the other side, you see a very disheveled bed, maybe another gun like slightly poking out, like another blunderbuss slightly poking out from underneath it, and several pictures of what looked to be old family photos circled in like red. Yeah, and like there's one that has a dartboard thing going on with like some darts in it.
No.
Yeah.
But it looks like. Oh no, I'm not there.
Is it? It's their family members, or are they my family members?
You can pretty safely assume you definitely recognize one of them as your grandpa.
Okay.
The other ones, now with that in mind, you're assuming the other ones are probably Beauregards.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Fair.
dear.
Fair. Okay. Well, since we're out here, you want to go to that graveyard, buddy?
No.
Cool,
But
let's
yeah. You know.
Hey, sand in the pocket. Hey, we should probably. What you? What you? A scaredy hamster? Big old scaredy hamster. Yeah, Cassidy knows what's up. Cassidy knows what's going on. You gotta be brave.
Shut up! No, I'm not going into peer pressure. Okay, let's go.
I sneak back out.
I'm still at least 10 feet behind her.
All right. So at this point, you make your way over to the graveyard, and the sun's basically starting to set, even though you can't see it. So like we're starting to see long shadows like peering through the clouds. Several like headstones and such kind of like turned every which way and about. You make your way in there. Are you looking for anything in particular?
I want to look in that mausoleum that
Ooh.
had the shadow near it.
I'd also like to look for the bucket.
You know the bucket's in the well. That's where they told you it was?
Oh, that's not in the graveyard.
No.
Gotcha.
No, it's next to the house.
Okay, gotcha.
So you make your way over to the mausoleum, and the first thing that you notice, you can see some very large footprints next to this mausoleum, and these don't look to be human footprints. Like, Clara, can you roll a brains check for me?
Yeah.
This is total payback for that Call of Duty game.
An 18. Yo, these are 8 footprints.
These are ape footprints. Could be, or they could be fake.
Oh crap. Okay.
So that's right in front of the door of the mausoleum?
Yes.
There doesn't happen to be a bell by this mausoleum, is there?
Yes, there is a bell by this mausoleum.
I'd like to ring the bell.
Immediately coming from behind the mausoleum door, Ivan approaches. Yes!
Ivan, go up. I want to know if Bobo is there right now.
What are you talking about?
Is Bobo still in his room?
Well, I'd have to walk back. It's going to be a while.
You got here so fast?
What are you talking about? You rang the bell.
Ivan, I want you to imagine that in Bobo's room, a bell just rang. What do you do?
I would answer it.
Insufferable.
He's just sitting there. Sorry, what did you say?
You're fine. Go away.
All right. He like sinks back into the mausoleum. The door shuts.
That was worth a try.
And then you open the door, he's not there anymore.
Oh, shit.
What the hell?
Oh.
Let's go in.
So yeah, you make your way in. You peek in. There's a couple of like wrapped, you can assume, were corpses along the walls here. Like, oh yeah, open air and very spooky. In the center, there seems to be a coffin on its own, slightly elevated stone coffin with the lid slightly ajar.
Let's look.
Right. So you peer in, and you see a small parcel tied up with some twine and a large diamond sitting next to it.
Does it look like the same diamond?
It looks like a different diamond.
But does it look similar?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna snatch both of those.
Okay.
Let's look in this parcel.
All right.
Wait.
So you
I want to make sure Ivan is not there.
all right. You look around.
Grab the bell, run to the other side of the cemetery, and ring it.
That sounds very dangerous with a possible ape on the loose, but
It's the only way to get around.
I grab the bell, I put my hand underneath it, and I start to like jog off.
Good call. So you run to the other side of the graveyard, and you ring.
I'm going to ring it, put it down, and start walking.
So you like do the first ring, and then immediately from behind a tree steps Ivan. Like, yes.
Oh, hey, just checking the range, just
Yeah. And about this time, come back to Cassidy. So you're sitting in there, and you said you're reading the parcel.
Yes.
So you open up the parcel, and almost as though you can hear his voice traveling across time, you can hear the voice of Grandpa Beauregard, like, my dearest, sweetest Cassidy. I knew with your strong, willing, independent spirit you would come snooping around these parts. I want to let you know that I have left you my entire fortune, which does indeed exist. With it, but I can't have just anybody proving it. And you got to prove to me your ingenuity before you go and reclaim it. So, I'm going to leave you a series of clues to lead you on your way. And if you find it, you will truly have proved yourself worthy of being my heir. Signed, G. Paul Beauregard. And then at the very bottom, you see a hint. And the hint says, go to the part of the house with its knee out.
Okay.
I'm having
So I'm going to take that parcel with me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want Ivan to find that.
Right.
Then we should go to that room that was L-shaped.
About this time, you think you hear something that sounds like grunting. Cut back to Clyde. So with Clyde, you're talking to Ivan.
I'm getting to know his backstory. Yeah, it's a whole bunch.
Yes.
All 32 years he's been alive.
Yes. When I was 8, I used to get water from the well in a tiny pail, and I was shot at by the neighbor, Billy Bob. She does not like anyone associated with the family. I also stubbed my toe very rapidly, and it swelled.
I'm doing the looking at your watch, like half interested in the story.
My sir, you don't have a watch.
I'm looking at my hand, trying to tell my fortune.
He's like, I have a watch, and he pulls down his this very well kept brass wristwatch. Would you like the time?
Sure, that'd be wonderful.
Excellent. It's 6:48, and then cut back to Clara. Clara, you hear some grunting outside of the door coming into the mausoleum, and about this time, you see that you hear a bang, a low bang, not super loud, and then the door begins to open. What do you do?
Get in the coffin.
Perfect. All right.
Do I hear the bang?
No, it's not loud enough to carry. Roll a flight check.
Okay. D12. 2.
Okay. So you
what was
jump.
The DC?
The DC was 8.
Oh, okay. So you wouldn't be able to use adversity for that.
No. So you hop in the coffin, and you you push it closed, and then you hear and you hear it kind of stomping around, and after a couple of seconds, you start to hear a low scraping of stone as the coffin lid gets pushed off, and you are face to face with this gigantic ape, just and it roars at you bah! You panic and you scramble out of the coffin, and grabs at you, but you dodge it, and as it grabs at you and you dodge it, it hits its head on the coffin, and you run out the front door. About this time, Clyde, you see Cassidy running across the graveyard towards you.
I'm running.
Where are we
Clyde,
going?
come on! And I start ringing the bell as I run.
What? And you start ringing the bell, and you kind of just see him like slowly walking along behind you, like still in your eyesight. You're like, I'm coming at my own pace. Yeah. So you make your way all the way back to the house. You slam the front door. Cassidy's breathing very heavily.
What was that?
It was Bobo.
It was Bobo?
What looked like Bobo.
I'm going to run upstairs and see if Bobo is there.
Bobo is still there.
I don't like this.
But maybe a little closer than before.
Damn
like,
you.
Or just like scooting forward a little bit.
Okay, so I want to run to the attic and look through that telescope thing.
Okay.
There's still an ape in that mausoleum.
Oh yeah.
All right. So you like run all the way upstairs. Roll another flight check for me.
8.
Okay. So the DC was 6 on this one, so you passed. You make your way all the way up there.
You also got a adversity token when you failed the roll.
Yes.
Oh.
So now you have 3. So you make your way upstairs. You're able to move fast enough to get to the spyglass. You go over, and you can definitely see now that you're looking for it. There are more footprints than there were before, but you don't see the ape.
Okay. Are the footprints going? Where are they coming from in relation to the mausoleum?
Sure. It looks like now that you're like keeping an eye out for them and you're like tracing the path, it looks like they're generally coming from your house. Maybe like coming around the outside, like a wider range. But you can definitely see there's some that are going from your house to the mausoleum, and then you can see that there are some from the other side coming from the woods towards the mausoleum.
Okay.
Clyde, what were you doing? You're checking on Bobo. So you do that, Cassidy. Then you run back downstairs, and you can just see Clyde like eyeing the
I'm just standing there doing this.
And then you kind of hear it's like, I don't think he's alive.
I know that.
Do you know that? You
But you
look
said
at
that Bobo was there.
What? Bobo's right there. Bobo can't be in 2 places at once.
Mausoleum.
You silly mongoose. He can't be in 2 places at once.
You would think that, right?
Yeah, I would think that. So about this time, Cassidy, you walk in.
Bobo's right there.
What are you doing?
He thinks that Bobo's alive.
Well, I saw Bobo.
Maybe it's not Bobo. Maybe it's a different Bobo. Maybe it's like, maybe it's like Obo. It could be Obo. Don't look at me like that, Clyde.
I also saw footprints going from the woods to the mausoleum and going from the house to the mausoleum.
About this time, you hear a at the front door.
I ring the bell.
You ring the bell.
Yep.
And you hear from the front door, "It's me!"
He just got to the house.
He just got to the house.
I ring my bell.
You're very funny!
Okay, while he's locked outside, let's go see if his room is unlocked.
All right.
Wait, why are we... What room?
So you make your way downstairs.
So
yeah, you make your way downstairs. It is unlocked.
Let's go in.
I want to see the diamond.
Okay, so you go over. There's a diamond on his desk, as well as now that you're closer, you can see a small ring with the signet of the Beauregard family on it.
I'm picking both up.
Okay. And you can read the open page of his diary that's on the desk there.
Yes, please.
You just like glance over at it because you can tell like at any point now he'll possibly get inside. But you can read it's like, the new mistress has arrived, as well as this lame, lanky friend.
Accurate description.
They've come here to steal my treasure, but I won't let them. Perhaps I'll try to set the witch on them, or something unfortunate will happen.
Wait,
and then you can actually read.
Bell,
you can read written out. Yes.
when we rang the bell, he didn't go through the door.
No.
I think we should check every other door so he can't get in.
About this time, you can hear like the lock getting tried outside. It's like, I'll find the right key. Give me a second.
Okay. Put everything back so he doesn't know we were in here.
Okay, can I look over the diamond and can I look over the ring to see if there are any clues on them?
The current clue that you have is the only one that Cassidy has right now.
Okay.
There's not clues on them, but you see on the inside of the signet ring, it's engraved to my dearest Cassidy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you all make your
ring. I feel like we need to take this stuff.
You have 3 seconds to decide before the door opens.
Yes or no?
Take the ring.
Okay, so you take the ring and you walk out. And you shut the door. And about this time, the door opens, and like Ivan hunches and like hobbles inside. Like,
Ivan, we were just coming to let you in.
Yes, you rang for me. I apologize. I was
multiple times, and I ring the bell.
I'm here. What would you like?
Oh, I'm just showing you that I rang the bell.
You did ring the bell. That's why I came.
Oh, right.
Yes, that's why I'm here. What do you require?
Oh, we just required you to be here.
Because we like you, Ivan.
It's also your job, so.
You can't see his eyes, but you can tell he's squinting. Yes. Yes, okay. About this time, there's an old dial-up phone that starts to ring nearby the door. And Ivan's like, don't worry, I'll receive it. Picks it up. Yes. 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 I'll tell them. So he turns back. It's like, yes. I've been told that the sheriff is warning folks about escaped animals that have made their way onto the premises from the crash circus train. You two wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
No. Not a thing.
Okay.
What's a circus?
What's a circus? Do you not know what a circus is?
Never been.
Oh. It's where they bring animals and performers out for our amusement. And they do dances and sing songs and do daring and mystifying feats.
I will have to go someday.
You will. You'll see many oddities there. Some things that the human mind should not be able to withstand.
Ivan, have you ever been to a circus? And I kind of like look at Cassidy and go like,
when I was 5, and he's like, oh yes, and he like walks over to the window and looks out at it, and like a retrospective monologue or like an introspective monologue. He's like, yes, when I was 5, I went to the circus with my father.
And I look at Cassidy and go like to go check the clue.
Right. So it was you all make your way like upstairs away from Ivan.
Yeah.
So the clue was go to the part of the house with its knee out.
Okay. So I'm gonna check the corner of that L shape first. What was that? A foyer room?
The foyer, all downstairs with the.
Was it where
bar?
Was it where the music was?
Yes.
No, the gramophone was on the left-hand side. The right-hand side is the chimney, and then the bar.
Oh, okay.
So you walk over to the bar, and you start searching around there, and you're not able to find it. In the meantime, in the background, you can hear the monologue ongoing. It's like, and then we met Bazinga the Clown, and he was a jolly fellow, but sad. You know, I heard one day that Bazinga was depressed and went to the doctor. And then
no.
Bazinga was asked the doctor, "I'm very sad. What should I do?" And then the doctor said, "Oh, why don't you you go to see? Why don't you go to see the great Bazinga? He is in town." And he says, "But doctor, I am Bazinga." So you don't find anything in the corner of the room.
No.
You don't find anything in the corner of the room. About this time, you hear like a small like something rolling on the roof, and then you hear like a thump in the yard.
I'm gonna look out one of those windows and see if I can see it.
It looks like a brick fell.
From the roof? A brick?
The roof is just made of shingles. The only thing
chimney?
up. Yes, you could assume it's probably from the chimney.
Can we look up the chimney?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, the chimney, you like peer up, and at the very top of the chimney, you think you see like a twinkle.
Okay. How do I get to that?
Well,
how big is this chimney? Can I climb up it, Santa Claus style?
you could
We
shimmy.
have to do the Emperor's New Groove and just like start walking up.
You could try that. That is one way to approach the situation. If you'd like to try that, we can try that.
Let's do it.
You want to try that?
All right. I need both of you to make a brawn check.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, you're good. No, you'll be fine.
Roll a 6. Oh, it explodes too.
It
right?
explodes. So this is something we haven't talked about. A 1. The DC is 10. So when you roll maximum on a die, even if it's like a D8 and you roll an 8 or a D6 you roll a 6, that die explodes. And what that means is you get to roll that die again. It's like a critical in D&D. So what you rolled that time, Clyde?
Okay, so I rolled a 6 and then I rolled a 3 and I have a +1, so that's a 10.
Cool. So Clyde, motivated by wanting to get away from Ivan's horrible story, makes you're able to do the Emperor's New Groove, like shimmy up the chimney. Cassidy, it's a little slick because of all the soot, but you make your way up there, and at the very top is another diamond and another clue. So you like reach up, you grab it, and you pocket it, and you pocket the parcel, and you shuffle back down. And then about this time, Ivan's wrapping up a story. And then we went home when then my brother passed away from the pox.
I stealthily go right back behind him, and I go, Ivan, I'm so sorry to hear that. Tell me more about your brother.
Ah, yes, my brother. Before I was an only child. And he continues. So you run over and you pop open the parcel. And this one says, look for a relative who is quite old, whose face cannot look, and whose hands cannot hold.
So is it a painting? Or photograph?
Again?
Look for a relative who is quite old, whose face cannot look, and whose hands cannot hold.
Face cannot look. Well, I mean, the relative that's quite old would be a painting, but relative, if it's already him doing it, because the first thing is like the master bedroom, right? Where it's like his portrait, but it's a relative. So it's not him, is it?
But he is a relative to me.
Oh.
And he's quite old. Let's check it.
That's probably it then.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way upstairs.
Yeah.
Passing by Ivan. Well, you asked him to tell him about your brother. Yes, my brother, before he was taken from us by the Parks, he was a happy child. He liked to go swimming and dancing until he broke his leg during the winter.
And as I pass him, can you tell me more about that broken leg? I broke my leg when I was in school, and I.
Yes, broken legs are what happens when the bones in your leg, and then you you make your way upstairs. So yes, you make your way up to the portrait, and you inspect it a little bit closer, and you can see on your grandfather's on his painting there he's wearing a watch, and the watch is actually a button. Poke, and as you press the button, the painting shifts aside, and there is another small parcel, and this time with like a brooch.
Wait, so we now have 2 diamonds in our possession. 1 is in Ivan's room, and a brooch, right?
And a ring.
Oh, and a ring.
Yeah.
You have a ring. There's a diamond in there. You have a diamond, and now you have a brooch.
2 diamonds. Okay. Cool.
And the hint that you read on this one is you did well to find your grandfather's clock. What does it lack besides a talk?
Tick.
What does it lack?
A tick. Well, it says it lacks a talk.
No, you're right. You're right in what it lacks. That's where it is.
Oh, the attic.
There you go. Hell yeah.
A tick. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Wait. Let's close the painting first.
Yes.
Close
So you like move the painting back over. You pop back downstairs, and then then you repair it with the splint.
What's a splint?
A splint is a singular piece of wood that you tie with, and then you like make your way back upstairs. About this time, as you're walking down the hallway, you start to hear shuffling. You hear sounds of things being moved above you.
Is that above us in the attic or
Yes.
above us in the second floor?
It's in the attic. You're in the second floor.
Maybe the treasure isn't so important, you know? Maybe we should abandon this.
We should go up to the attic.
Another valid idea. I think we haven't given the first one enough time and consideration. Lead the way. Lead the way. Let's go.
So I'm gonna quietly go to the attic and just like barely open the door and look.
You don't see anything. You don't hear anything.
Okay.
It's darker than it was before. The sun's going down.
Is there in any of the rooms, can I find like a candle or can I find like a flashlight?
No flashlight, but yes, a candle.
Okay,
There's
I
a
will.
candelabra in the dining room.
There is.
Hmm. I will grab one of the candles and I will use that to light up the attic.
All right, so you
Check on Bobo on your way.
Sure, I will go next to the big scary gorilla and check to see if he has moved at all.
He's slightly
you
farther
are
away
very
this time.
gracious, Master.
You're welcome. No, he's slightly farther away this time.
Okay.
But you think he moved?
God. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. And go into the attic.
So you run down, you grab the candelabra, and as you're passing by Ivan, he's like, and then your leg heals.
Wait, hold on. I'm not entirely sure if I understand the story. Can you go back to your brother? How did he break his leg again?
And yeah, so he's like, and then he was down by the pond with Paul and you're fishing, and then you run upstairs. So you have a full candelabra. Think of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show where he's wielding it.
Yeah.
You've got it like that, and you like pass it up to Cassidy, who is now wielding a candelabra that's lit.
Okay, I'm gonna look around specifically for anything shiny.
Yes. So you start searching around. You can see there seems to be in the dust up here footprints that you don't remember before, like thick boots. It looks like is what left these. And you're like peeking around and searching for stuff. And then you see as the candelabra shines, the only thing that's shining up here is the mirror.
Okay. I'm gonna inspect the mirror. Are you coming, Clyde, or?
Yeah. So I see that it is a little bit lighter. I'm gonna go check the telescopes.
Okay. Which one do you look at? The one
I
on the
look
far
at
side or the
house
close one?
first.
Oh, you look at the something house?
Yeah.
Right. You peek over the something house and you can see what looks to be an argument happening on the front door, like nearby their front door. Billy Bob and Clarice are going at it. And you can see Billy Bob pointing to your house and pointing to your house and like giving her hell. And then he like points to his gun and he starts walking towards your house.
Cool. We should hurry. Billy Bob is a little mad and he's coming over. And we've already had dinner, so he's not here for food.
So as you inspect the mirror, Cassidy, you turn, the mirror is like a full standing mirror that can like rotate on itself. You know what I'm talking about? So you lift it up a little bit and you see two things. One, you see the parcel and what looks to be another small ring hanging underneath it. And then behind that, crouched behind it, you see a skeletal face looking at you. Nope. He's like, "You fools! You dare seek the treasure, and now you shall pay." What do you do? And you can see that there's like a skeleton in a cloak behind the mirror. And you can see just like glancing at him wearing thick boots.
Okay, I'm gonna snatch the ring and the parcel.
Okay.
And do I hear the skeleton talk?
Oh yeah, you hear this too.
I'm going to jam the candelabra at him and push him back as far as I can, and then I'm gonna run.
All right, roll a fight check. DC 10.
Can I help?
No.
Dang.
You're on the other side.
2.
Oh no. Get another adversity token.
So you get another adversity token. And he deflects the candelabra like, "Rah! You'll never have the treasure." And then he like grabs at you and he grabs the ring, but the skeleton doesn't get the parcel. And about this time, he like takes off his cloak and throws it at you, and you get like wrapped up in the cloak and like puts the candles out, and you just hear like this whole like chat, like you hear some like yelping and some fighting, and then all of a sudden you take it off, the skeleton's gone.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna run and look at the
parcel.
No, the
spyglass.
To the graveyard.
Okay. So you look over at the graveyard, and this time you see that the mausoleum doors are just open.
Interesting.
Are there any?
Well, I'm gonna open that parcel then.
All right. Sand pops out like, what's it say? And then Sand looks down. And the hint is, don't look any higher think what you are when you're not the buyer.
Let's go to the cellar.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have to get keys from what's his butt though.
I think it's Ivan, but yeah, I think you know that. You're being sarcastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. He leans into Clyde. I didn't get it for a second, but I got it now. And you make your way downstairs, and
Where's
that's
the story?
That's where my brother died of pox.
Oh.
Can you tell us every word you can think of that rhymes with pox?
Oh, you kind of see him look down from his introspection a little bit to like more of a confused, like clocks, box.
Can I use 2 adversity tokens to do my unassuming trait so that I am not seen and try to lift his keys off of his person?
Yes, you can do that, and you do.
Okay.
So you lift the keys off, like box. The first part of Moxie is Mox. Socks. And about the time you leave, you go down the hallway. You make your way over to the cellar, and you start trying different keys.
Oh,
eventually,
can I make sure that the front door is locked?
yeah, you can run over and lock the front door.
I just lock the front door and I go, let's go. Just in case Billy Bob decides to show up.
Oh, smart.
And cellar.
Yeah, down to the cellar. You make your way down. You like go over and you eventually find the key to open up the cellar. And you pop it open. Like dust blows up at you. You make your way down like some creaky wooden steps, like step ladder going down. The cellar itself is fairly sparsely populated. You can see what looks to be the main parts of it are there are several like gated off like rooms, as in like it's almost like the same build as a jail cell, although it's not a jail cell. It's like what they have for walls instead of like wooden walls down here. Everything, the ground is made of like dirt and like cobblestone, and the walls are either dirt or stone walls, or they are these like iron bars that separate what are the rooms down here. You can peek over, you can see that one looks like the wine cellar that was hardly ever used. Several bottles sit dusty and dejected. You can see a little bit more of what looks to be Civil War memorabilia. It's like old stuff that Grandpa packed away and forgot about here. You can see like the Union flag hanging and like bitten and threadbare and torn up. And something else that you see is a large cannon, as in like one that you would have on the battlefield, and several cannonballs and a sack of gunpowder sitting in the room. And the cannon is currently aimed at one of the downstairs walls.
Can we blow it up?
Don't put that thought in our heads.
Yeah, absolutely. So Cassidy, roll a brains check to properly load a cannon.
17.
Hell yeah. You know what? I'll bet you that old Grandpa Beauregard showed you this at some point when you were real little. And good old Pappy remembers this. So you load up that cannon, you light the fuse, and you quickly run over, and then there's an earth-shattering kaboom, and then the wall. What?
How far away is Ivan from the cellar?
I mean, he's by the front door.
When I see the fuse lit, can I hop up, run over to Ivan, and go, Ivan, scream as loud as you can for 5 seconds. Go.
What? And then the explosion happens, which rocks the whole house. So he's like, and he like actually starts screaming as opposed to just confused screaming.
I'd like to try to confuse him to think he caused that.
Roll a charm check. This is gonna be a pretty high DC.
What's the DC?
Let's say 14.
Shit, are you kidding?
You're gonna try to convince him that the cannon exploding was him. I like your headset though. I believe in you, Clyde. You have a D10, right? Just explode.
I got a 6.
Okay. What on good God earth was that?
That must have been me too.
That was you? What?
Yeah, the meatloaf.
The meat! I left the meatloaf burning.
Is Billy Bob around perchance?
Is Billy Bob? And
I saw him coming over here with a shotgun. Maybe that was him.
About this time, you see, like, I know y'all in there. You better open up right now. And then you hear a and like a buckshot pierces through the front door and like sprays out into the foyer. Oh my goodness!
And I run to the cellar.
So Cassidy, you've been down there. You lit it. The cellar's like incredibly smoky, but you exploded out the back wall, which reveals a secret smaller room. In it is a small chest which you pop open, and in here is a pearl necklace with another parcel inside it, or with it.
God, it's not the last one. Dang it.
Parcel say.
Okay, so this one says you look for a kind of stone you wear as a hat.
A headstone? So the graveyard? But I've already found that one.
You're right. I'll just tell you you're right with the graveyard.
Maybe it's his headstone?
Let's go find it.
I think we should go out the back door.
Agreed.
Because Billy Bob is upset there's no dinner.
There is no back door.
Well, shoot.
There's only the front door. So you come back upstairs and you peer around the corner, and you can see that the hole is boarded up. And Ivan like comes over to you. He's like, "I've called the sheriff. There's the Billy Bob boy is shooting at us."
That is bad news, but good job in calling the sheriff.
Thank you.
Can we go out a window?
Are you asking me? You could probably exit any of these windows at ground level here. You would have, yes.
Let's go out the window closest to the well.
Where are you going?
None of your business, Ivan.
I'm just curious.
Knows we're in here. So where's the last place he's going to look?
Out there. Can I come with you?
No.
Why not?
There has to be someone here, or he's going to know we're not here. See, that defeats the purpose.
But he might just
write in your diary a little more, Ivan.
Again, you can't see his eyes. But do you think he's squinting again? Like, what? You wouldn't know anything about my diary, would you?
What diary? Just a suggestion on something you could do.
We're just assuming you're a scholarly fellow.
I am learned. Yes, all right. And he like shuffles away to his room, like looking back at you every so often. And he makes his way into his bedroom and shuts the door.
All right, let's get out this window.
All right, so you all hop out the side window. You land. You start shuffling away.
I want to go to the well first.
Okay.
I want that bucket.
Okay, so you go over to the well. and you roll up the well, and the bucket, you have to like move some of these boards that are blocking it, but you're able to get this bucket out. This bucket has obviously been repaired a couple of times, because it's old and weathered wood, and it's been like reinforced. It looks like multiple times throughout the years. And on the bottom, it says property of the Beauregards. You can see actually several times that there's been like property of the Sumptons, and it's been scrawled out, and property of the Beauregards, and scrawled out, and then fuck you Beauregard, and scrawled out. And then the final one is property of the Beauregards, take that, no backseas.
Is there anything special about the bucket?
The bucket is symbolic.
I mean, look at the history here.
Yeah, this is a historical bucket. There have been several generations that have waged war with this bucket.
Okay. Can we take the bucket with us to the graveyard?
Yes, absolutely.
Doing it.
All right. So you make your way to the graveyard. And Clyde, what was your idea?
To go to the grandfather's headstone.
Okay. So you make your way into the graveyard, and you make your way specifically to the grandfather's headstone. And this headstone, as opposed to some of the other headstones that were around, is incredibly ornate. Very well chiseled, much bigger than a normal headstone. And then on the top of it, there's actually a bust of your grandfather's head. And it's, again, him in his Union uniform. So he's got you can see the top part of his uniform there, and you can see that his stone hat is slightly askew.
Move it.
You can't reach it. You're gonna have to climb up on each other, or somebody's gonna have to climb his headstone, or you'll have to think of some other way.
Can Ham go up? Ham. Oh my God, Sand.
Hey. He hops into your hands like, you'll have to toss me. Because I'm a dwarf hamster.
That's a great reference.
Yeah, thank you. So he's like, yeah, you toss him up, and you can see him like, Clara, Clara, can you roll a brawn check?
Oh no.
Oh no.
For Sand.
3.
3? It's okay. The number to beat was, actually the number was 4. You could spend an adversity die though to pump it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so you pump it.
And I have lucky, which means that it's +2 for adversity instead of +1.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh, so you should have like 6 adversity then.
Oh God, you have so much adversity. You can talk to her about that here in a second. So you can see like he gets up there. It's like, maybe I would feel more motivated to move this, Clyde, if I had a sand snack. Can I have a sand snack?
I pull out the small pouch and just.
Well, now I kind of want one too.
Yeah. You have to bring enough for everybody, Clyde.
I give one to Cassidy, and then I just toss the bag up there.
He catches it in his mouth, like he's able to hold the whole weight, motivated as he is. Cassidy, what do sand snacks taste like?
They taste like kind of like peanuts and grass.
Grass.
Peanuts and grass. I like it a lot. Yeah,
I like that.
They're full of fiber, which is good. So he eats one. He's like, yes, hamster power, and then he like flips that.
That was a great reference.
Thank you. And the hat flips, and with the doll like into the mud, and then sitting on top is the largest diamond yet, and another parcel. So he like nudges them off, and about this time you hear in the distance like, "Hey, you get back here! I know you yet. I saw your footstep coming in, so you get back here."
Okay.
What do you all do?
So we need Sand to give us the parcel.
So Sand knocks down the parcel.
Is it obvious he's yelling at us?
He's definitely yelling for you all.
I'm going to, with my lengthy arms, I'm going to hold up the bucket.
Okay. So you
stand there.
So Sand hops in the bucket. About this time, Billy Bob rounds the corner, got his musket aimed or his blunderbuss aimed at y'all. Like, I knew I'd find you folks around here. I saw y'all leave the house.
It was to get your bucket.
My bucket.
Your bucket.
Yours.
Can I hold it out?
I don't trust y'all and your Beauregard tricks.
No.
We have a giant diamond you can have too.
Roll a charm check. Not a very high DC, like 4.
It's a good thing I rolled a 1.
Nice. I'll let it be up to you whether or not you want to use adversity or if you want to roll with the consequences of this.
I'm gonna use adversity on this.
Okay. So you'll spend 3 adversity to get to a success. He's like, well, what'll I do to Clara? Are you sure you're your grandpappy? Your grandpappy hated me, and I hated him.
Is Sand still in the bucket?
Yes.
I gotta grab Sand out.
No, I was doing. Goddamn. No, I just wanted to be.
Bucket.
I wanted to be sneaky. And then you're like, well, all right. I get my bucket back, and I get that diamond. And this perhaps could be the beginning of a parlay.
I would like that.
I slowly start walking.
And he goes over and he extends a hand for you. Shakes. Like, all right. And who might you be? Points at you.
Me?
No. Points at. Because I know who you are. I've seen you around here when you're little. What about you? Who you?
My name's Clyde.
You Beauregard?
No.
Then we do not have business. And he takes the bucket from you. And he turns to leave, and about this time, you all hear like a and you all spin around, and there's a giant ape emerging from the tree line.
Behind us?
Yeah, behind you. What the Sam hell's that?
I book it.
All right.
Cassidy. I'm going to run to the crypt and ring the bell.
Ooh, good idea.
All right. So you run over and you run over to ring the bell, and the bell's not there because Clyde still has the bell. As he's running away, you start ringing the bell, but because there's nowhere for Ivan to mysteriously appear from, you hear like, "I'm coming!" from the house, and the door like slightly creaks open. And he starts shuffling out. But Cassidy, you're currently over at the crypt, and Billy Bob's run over with you like, "Where are we going?" And then this ape is approaching like, "Roar!"
All right. So I'm gonna go in the crypt. Is Billy Bob gonna follow me?
Billy Bob is following your lead.
Cool.
Oh, I'm also following Cassidy.
All right, so now we're all running together.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna pull that door closed.
All right, so you pull the door closed.
And we're gonna look around for some way to barricade it.
The stone tablet, the stone slab.
All right, I need all of you to roll a brawn check to move it, and I'll have Billy Bob roll 1 too.
I got a 4 out of 4.
I got a 6 out of 6.
Oh, nice. So you both explode. So now you get to roll it again, and let me know what you get.
I got
3.
9 total.
9 total, 3. Okay, so cool. The DC was 8. What did you get, Clyde?
I got a 9 total.
9 total, and you got an 8 total. Perfect.
No,
All right.
7 total.
Oh, it's okay. If it make so, this is a group roll, and you're close enough. And because Billy Bob passed his brawn check as well, he rolled a 10. We're able to move it. So you all move the slab. It's very dark in here. There's not much light except the little that's creeping in from outside. It's like, hold on a second. He's like, hold on a second, I got this. And Billy Bob lights a match. So it's you all by matchlight in this dark mausoleum.
Okay. Let's look around for a way out other than the door.
Okay.
Are there 2 doors or just one?
There's just the one door coming in.
Can I look around the casket and the other all the walls to see if there's any like trap door or if there's any area that we might be able to sneak out that's not the front door?
Yeah. So while you're doing that, there are a couple of like most crypts have candles. So for like remembrance. So about this time, Billy Bob's going around lighting a couple of candles, so you have some light in here. And you start looking around, and sure enough, you can find a piece of old cloth that looks like it's been thrown on the ground, and you move it, and you find a hidden trap door.
Okay.
Slowly open it and look in.
It looks to be some sort of dirt tunnel.
Do you think this is how Ivan's getting around? That's
it.
He's a suspicious dude.
I think he only acts slow, but in actuality, he is sprinting around this house.
Mm-hmm.
He is straight up Usain Bolt.
Idea. Let's put sand in this tunnel, and let's ring the bell. And Sand, you're gonna tell us if Ivan comes running past you in this tunnel.
Okay, this is a great idea, and I'm gonna go. Okay, so you release Sand, and
then pull out my little bell.
Wait! Close the trap door first. He can't know that we know about it.
Ring.
About this time, you hear back from the mausoleum door. Hello! Hello! You rang for me!
At the mausoleum door?
Yeah, not the trap door, the mausoleum door. You rang for me.
With the ape outside?
What are you talking about? It's only Ivan.
There's no ape around?
What are you on about? Apes. Did you see Boo-Boo?
Hey, Billy Bob.
Yeah?
You know who left Mr. Beauregard left this house to, right?
Well, he left it to that little missy right over there, right?
Mm-hmm. But you know who's been keeping that bucket away from you? That guy outside.
What, Ivan?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That little sumbitch. I knew there was something weird about him. And it wasn't just his hunchback or his long arms or his crazy eyes or the way that he laughs or he goes into long monologues. I knew there was something weird about him.
All of those things are absolutely accurate. You should go talk to him about it.
All right. So he goes upstairs. He's like, you can hear like the stone slab start to be moved. He's like, oh, what's that, Ivan? You like to ring bell? I'm gonna ring your bell. I'm gonna knock you upside the head. It's like, no, leave me alone. You start to hear like a panting leaving the mausoleum. About to shut the mausoleum door opens, and Billy Bob exits, and you start to hear like gunfire in the distance.
And there's no ape?
Get in this tunnel.
You don't hear an ape.
Right. Have we read the last clue?
Oh, we didn't. No. Let's read it.
Let's read it.
You read the clue, and the clue says, think of how you are feeling when you are not sick.
Well, That's really good. Let's go.
So you actually take the tunnel back, right?
Yeah.
So you take the tunnel, and it kind of winds, and you make your way all the way back, and you reach what looks to be an end, but you can actually feel it's like a false wall, and you push it, and it slides to the side, and you're actually in the cellar.
Awesome.
So yeah, it looks like there's a pathway back. And about this time, say what?
Are there any footprints around this false wall?
Yes.
Do they look apish?
No, they do not look apish.
Do they look monologue-y?
They do look monologue-y, yeah.
That son of a bitch, Ivan.
Interesting.
All right, let's go to the well.
So yeah, let's jump out the window again.
Yeah, so you go back. Even though there's no longer a threat, you do jump out the window because you're action oriented.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's important. So about this time, you make your way outside. You make your way over to the well, and it's just the rope going down into the well.
All right, Sand.
What? You're not sending me down there?
To make an itty bitty dwarf hamster harness.
Oh.
Rope.
All right. I have changed my mind. I feel very secure. You start to lower him down.
Wait, but first, snack.
So he's like,
yeah, I pull out the and I just pour a bunch on the side of the well.
His mouth like elongates. It's like a snake's jaw unhinging. He like eats all of them. Like I want to. Oh my gosh, yes. Like what were they called? Sand snacks. Sand snacks. Oh, so good. About this time.
Oh man.
As you start to hear from at this point, night has settled in, so you're basically carrying around a candle with you at all times to remain lit. Mm-hmm. You start to hear like like echoing from beyond the tree line, and the fog is beginning to roll in.
All right, quickly, Sand, quickly.
Okay.
With haste.
All right. Who wants to roll a flight check for Sand? Also, he's very quick.
I have a good flight.
I have a D12 flight.
I have a D20.
Okay, do that.
Yeah.
No whammies. Okay. 14.
Yeah, the number was 10. So you like roll him down real quick. And he's like, okay, I see it. Hold on. And you pull him up, and in his mouth, he's got he's got another pendant and another parcel.
Oh my god.
The strong hamster mouth.
Your grandfather was not fucking around.
Sure was not. So we open the parcel.
Yeah. I think we should run back into the house first.
Yeah, about this time you start to see like a creeping figure come from the woods. It seems to be the witch from before. It's like, hello, dearies. I've come to feast on you.
We just had dinner, but let's try again some other time.
All right, so you all go sprinting back to the house. And you turn around, and the witch is actually like flying after you. Mm-mm. So like off the ground, you don't see her feet, just like hovering in the wind, like, yeah! And you run back inside, you slam the door, and then you hear, ah! The door pops for a second.
Oh no. I still have the keys. I'm going to lock it.
Yeah. She's like, I'll get you. And the sound disappears.
And what's in the clue?
The clue says, There is no mystery for this clue. Inside Bear Cave, the jewels are in plain view.
Bear cave?
About this time,
I hate when you say that.
Ivan rushes into the room from somewhere. It looks like he came back from his, you're assuming the cellar. So he came from the cellar, he's like, and you can see like his what he's wearing has some holes in it. He shuts the window. He's like, you left me with that ingrate. He tried to kill me.
Wait, how did he try to kill you?
He had a gun, you buffoon.
Oh, you mean him? And I point out the window.
What? I don't see him.
If he's looking out the window, I'm gonna run away.
And he turns back and see him. And he looks back at Cassidy. He's like, "Do you need something?
Just your love and affection.
Are you asking me for a hug?" Very weird lump on his back. It's like there's like a little, it's like got a bulb in it, and there's a couple of different ones, and you can feel like some just like bumpy skin on its left shoulder.
Does it feel real?
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's enough.
That was very nice. So
wonderful. That's all I needed.
Thank you. Clyde, where did you go to?
I just ran around a corner.
So you walk over to Clyde, who was run, and he was like hiding on like the first stair of the staircase, like peeking around the corner.
Fool.
I'm sorry. I feel like I've been brave. This is very unnatural.
All right, so this new clue.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Bear's Cave?
Bear Cave?
Yeah.
Bear Cave.
Was there a bear in... Was there a bear in the trophy room?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Do it.
So you make your way up to the trophy room, and you can see off to one side. First off, you think the statue of Bobo is a little bit closer?
Damn it.
Closer than it's been both times. Cassidy doesn't really seem to notice it, but you notice it, Clyde. That statue looks weird. And this time you think the arms might be like slightly more forward and the teeth slightly more bared. But over to the right side, you see a bear and like a little alcove like pushed into the wall is where the bear statue is sitting. And you walk over and you check behind the bear, and sure enough, there's another little parcel, and this time a small ruby.
Yoink. Let's open that parcel.
Yoink.
What's it say?
It better not be that just each one of these clues, the diamonds are the actual treasure, and that we're just like picking them up as we go along. Because that'd be, there better be a treasure trove at the end of this.
Go to a place that covers the tide and peer inside. Now, I'll just spoil this for you right now, although we have not previously addressed it. There's a pond nearby that you all know about. Cassidy, you do know about this. I'm just going to tell you, you put one and one together because it was not previously explained, and you're assuming there's something over by the pond.
Okay.
Go.
Before we leave, I want to tear a piece of my shirt off and tie it onto the back of Bobo.
Okay.
Oh, that's really smart.
Can I ask what your thought behind this is?
So that if we see him again outside and he doesn't have the tie on, we know it's not the same Bobo.
Okay. So you tie it to that. and you head downstairs. Ivan has retreated to his corner and is inside his room with the door slightly ajar, and he's like peering out at you all.
No, so he's not journaling.
No,
That's too bad.
I'm not live journaling right now. It's not something I do. I don't. The internet does not exist.
Internet, what's that?
I don't know. I don't know why I brought it up.
Hey, we go to the water.
All right, so you make your way out. Do you use the same window?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, same window, action oriented. This time you do a little combat roll as you go outside.
I trip.
You trip.
I'm clumsy to trip.
Faceplant. And you make your way over to the pond. And over by the pond, there is a little boathouse.
Bustin'.
All right. About this time.
Oh God.
I love that. It's so great. About this time, the mist starts to roll in, and you start to hear some cackling in the distance.
Is it possible with 2 adversity tokens, I can possibly use my prepared to look around and see if there is a shovel or some type of what can be possibly considered a weapon?
So yeah, immediately you look over to your left, and somebody's been digging out here. So there's a shovel like in the dirt.
Perfect. I grab the shovel.
The magic of prepare. So Clyde, you've got a shovel. And about this time, Sam's like, I think we should go in the boathouse. Okay, hear me out. We go in the boathouse. She tries to come in the door. You hit her with the shovel.
I'm 100% there with you.
All right, cool. All right. So who's gonna be doing what now that we're in the boathouse? So to give an idea what the boathouse is, have you all seen? Oh, what's the name of that movie? The Amityville Horror? And the house is on the lake. Same boathouse setup as that one, where it's got like the boat sitting in the middle of like the water there. It's got the docks on either side of it, and just like several dusty shelves filled with like disorganized materials and stuff like that.
Okay. I'm gonna look for a clue or treasure.
I'm going to stand behind the door
Yeah.
and await the witch.
I am awaiting the witch. So how would you like to look for this clue? Would you like the clue again?
Yes.
So you reread it, and it says, go to a place that covers the tide and peer inside.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Is there a pier in this lake?
So this is the pier so essentially like the pier is what you're on right now, but it's completely sheltered inside this boathouse.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna look underneath the pier area.
Okay.
Like under the boat.
Yeah. So you peek underneath, and sure enough, like right at the end of the pier on the left-hand side, you could see it looks like twined and nailed up against it is another parcel, and this time a emerald green crown.
Ooh. Very
About
This is screaming haunted treasure.
So as you're grabbing it, you just hear and the door creaks open, and you see like
Wait
the
face.
Yeah, you see first the hand, but you don't swing yet, and then you see like the face of the witch coming like, and I need you to roll a fight check.
A fight check?
Yes, you are hitting the witch with the shovel. This is not a very hard DC. I'll put it at 6 since you're surprising her.
8 total.
Yeah, hell yeah. So,
And I imagine Sand goes, get her.
yeah. So what Sand does actually is like you go to swing, he's like, I got this. And he runs out, he's like, hey! I don't want hey bitch! And she's like, what? And then wham! Like right with the shovel.
Oh, no.
And you just hear boom! Ah! And it just like falls backwards, like holding onto her face, like ah! Ah! And this witch is like rolling on the ground, and Sand crawls back up. He's like, I'm sorry for the language. I just felt really empowered.
Sorry for the language.
We really got that witch. She's like, but you can see she's definitely stunned and incapacitated for a moment, but she's not knocked out. She's just like groveling in pain, like ah, ah.
I would like to stand over her, holding it, saying, "What did we learn?"
She recovers for a second. She points up. You are cursed.
Bam! I hit her again.
This time you knock her out.
Perfect.
Cool.
Do I feel any different? Saying after she's saying I'm cursed.
You feel a slight sense of foreboding that you didn't have before.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I'm definitely terrified.
So
Yeah.
she's clearly not a ghost. Is this makeup or a mask?
Sure.
It's Ivan.
It sounded like Ivan. Don't know if that was like an actor's choice, but
Okay. So you go over and you're gonna check if this is makeup or not.
Yeah.
It's a mask. And you pull off the mask, and it's the sheriff.
fucking Jim Hank.
We had the moment.
So let's tie him up.
There's some rope in there to help hold the boat at bay, so you can go grab that and tie him up.
Okay. And then I want to put him in the boat and I want to push it.
I was gonna say that too.
All right, so yeah, you like pop the door open, you push him out.
He's also facing face down.
Yes, he's face down in the boat, tied up, going out into the middle of this pond. All right, so you all make you've done it.
My God, how many clues are there?
So you read this one, and this one says, "I'm so proud of my dearest Cassidy. I'm so proud of you. No more riddles. Here ends the chase. The treasure is in the fireplace."
Let's go to the fireplace. We were already there before, but let's go back.
So you run back, and so you run all the way back.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
The bell that I have,
Uh-huh.
I'd like to attach to the rope that we tied him up. So, in the hopes that when he moves, Ivan will be very confused.
Okay. All right, we'll just set that little mine for later.
Perfect.
So you run your way back up, action rolling through the window again.
I trip.
And you run over to the fireplace. And you start checking around, like, the treasure's in the fireplace, gotta be something. And you notice that one of the candle arms on the fireplace is actually a lever. And you pull it.
Oh, is Ivan watching?
Before you pull it,
Yes.
yes, Ivan has seen you come back inside.
Ivan, could you rewarm me some meatloaf, please?
Right now?
I'm
We've had a
hungry.
long day.
Mistress, it's like, I don't know, 11 o'clock.
Did I ask what time it was? No, I asked for meatloaf.
I'm very tired.
Evan, you should be asleep.
There's just been a lot of excitement and yelling, and you keep ringing the bell.
I mean, a 32-year-old needs to go to bed at least at 9 o'clock.
I know. I need my beauty sleep.
All right, go to bed, Ivan.
Should I go to bed or make the meatloaf?
Well, you need to do what Miss Beauregard says. So.
All right, Mr. Beauregard, I will join to this kitchen for the meatloaf. Goes to the kitchen. And you pull the lever, and you start to hear some rumbling, so you stand back. A bunch of bricks fall through the chimney, and then just like a deluge of gold, like crowns, like scepters, necklaces and pearls, and like sacks of money just like all come rolling out of the chimney into a huge pile on the floor.
I would like to roll in it.
All right, you begin to roll in it. Sand joins you.
Ivan's in the kitchen.
Yes.
I'd like to lock the door.
You lock the door now.
I'm still rolling in it.
All right. So you all did it. You found the treasure.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Eventually, this will be our denouement. You found the treasure. You report the sheriff to the other local authorities. Turns out that the sheriff, knowing that you all were here to reclaim the land, and having heard about the family fortune, was going to tail you all and scare you away so that he could look for the fortune himself. If you all were gone, the only person he'd have to deal with is Ivan. And Ivan's like, Ivan's whatever. But there's two of you, and you outnumbered him. And people would go looking for you. Nobody would go looking for Ivan.
Oh,
I know. Ivan gets locked in the kitchen for a while. Don't worry, he has meatloaf to sustain himself.
That was my thinking.
Yeah. Turns out that Ivan was also mildly, he was looking for the treasure himself, but he was not trying to scare you. He just knew about some secrets on the property and how to move around. So he knew about the cellar entrance. You'd later wring that out of him in a very apologetic monologue that he gives you. And he's like, "I'm sorry for disobeying you, mistress. I could not help it. The thought of all the gold and jewels and crowns, it overwhelmed me. I was driven by lust, for greed. I needed it." He says this through the kitchen door.
Just monologuing to a locked door.
Yeah.
And I'm actually just rolling in money. So.
Money. Yeah, so nobody hears his monologue. Nobody hears his monologue. The authorities eventually come to pick up the sheriff. And this all leaves you with the question: you end your feud with the Sumptons, and you no longer are you at odds. Every time you come to visit here, Cassidy, this doesn't feel like the place that you would stay all the time, especially now that you're fucking rich. But you maybe there's like a holiday, you could spruce it up a little bit. It's got history now, where you found the treasure. It could be like a museum thing. You are now friendly with the Sumptons, and you know what? You have like basically unlimited sugar to give them for any cake that they want to bake. And Clyde, you at some point you all deliver a like sorry about the feud. You delivered them a cake, which is like a really nice gesture out of all of you. And Clyde, Clarice blows a kiss at you through the window.
Ooh, Clyde.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, I thought you were a brother.
That's okay. I forgive you. And so you sit there and you realize, like, all right, well, we figured out the witch, figured out Ivan. We didn't figure out Bobo. What was going on with Bobo? And you have that thought, and you go upstairs, and Bobo is gone.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I knew that was sketchy.
Maybe Bobo was never there to begin with. Who knows about the mystery of Bobo? And yeah, and so ends our little story at the Beauregard estate with Cassidy and Clyde. Congratulations!
Yay, we did it!
You did it.
Yay.